97. If you thought being a 10 was great in the bedroom, just imagine what a 20 must be like. Experience off-the-scale virility with Maxiderm's new Red Pill Power Surge. You'll never want to go back to being just a 10. Call 1-800-418-4697 now to experience male enhancement supercharged. 1-800-418-4697 for your free trial and ask about our VIP club rewards. Hurry, this offer is limited. Call 1-800-418-4697.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Let us talk about the 3 most surprising things about modern LASIK at Kugler Vision. The first, how fast that LASIK procedure is. With Kugler Vision's leading-edge technology, we're talking just a few minutes per eye. Incredibly speedy. And how about this for number 2? How comfortable the procedure is. So often from their patients, they hear, wait, that's it? It's over? They make sure that you're relaxed and comfortable, as well as knowing exactly what is happening. And this for number 3, how quickly you can get back to normal life. Patients typically drive themselves to Kugler Vision the very next day for their follow-up visit. So you're back in action less than 24 hours later. Kugler Vision right now, they have special pre-summer savings on modern LASIK or any of their other advanced vision correction procedures. If you've ever thought about fixing your bad vision, the Kugler Vision Eye Analysis is your first step. Do so today. Schedule one online at KuglerVision.com.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time. Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
Double crossover. Crossover continues to evolve.
That's a great point, Josh, and your mic works, so it's great to share with our listeners what you just shared with us.
Should I?
Well, let me get this out of the way first.
Okay.
Crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. All right, the floor is yours. I'll sit back and answer the phones.
I don't know if I'm actually supposed to do this.
I don't feel like Josh wants to say this that much.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Save it for the after show.
I feel like my words would get misconstrued.
Yes, it does, because things get taken out of context.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're 10 feet under.
Yeah.
And you got to, you're swimming upstream with a paddle.
But
you make a good point. Save it for the after show.
I could blast city management again.
Put it on the vlog.
Uh-oh. What? You've never done that?
Put it on the vlog. Talk about it afterwards.
Put it on my
We're going
personal.
over on
1290
and do a little question and answer.
People have been commenting that Josh seems awfully angsty.
Well,
over the last couple
he
weeks.
actually, because the mic is fixed.
Yes.
Yep. And I think that was a lot of the source. Of
Not
the
fixed like it was last week.
Oh, do you
like
guys?
actually.
You guys know what happened, right?
No,
not entirely.
So when we came in here on Friday, Jimmy said, "What did Jimmy say?"
He said it works as long as you don't touch it, don't move it,
don't touch it, don't look at it. He's like, it works.
What was the day we played microphone roulette? Was that Thursday?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was before.
And Thursday after all of our shows, they came in and fixed the mic and the processor and the wiring and all that.
And and Jimmy's statement had proven to be right, because Josh couldn't figure it out at the beginning of the show, and then as the show went on, it sort of corrected itself somehow. And then we discussed it again on the afternoon crossover, and that's when engineer John Bishop, realized that it wasn't fully plugged in.
Oh,
it was like partially plugged in.
Oh.
So we're going to go ahead and say that that's a bit of human error.
How about
Josh,
that?
Would you like to take back any of your comments regarding?
No, because all day Friday I said the mic is fixed.
The mic was fixed.
If you took it as a sarcastic tone, that's on you, not me.
So the lesson we've learned here is always check your connections.
Yeah. Go ahead and do the unplug and replug before you do anything.
I feel like we
else.
did that a bunch of times, though, when it first started petering out.
Isn't that
Not enough.
crazy how we fix things? All you got to do is unplug it, plug it back in, or with your phone, you shut it down. You hope to God that the Apple pops up again. Or
trying to
just
do
the
that with
simple
the
of bashing something on the side and it works. Like, when you maybe were a kid that your TV wasn't working and dad would go up and slam it on the side. And the next thing you know, the picture would be back.
Or sometimes you just had to blow off dust on the cartridge.
I'm trying to do that with the with our studio camera right now, and it is not. So I've unplugged and replugged a few times. We're
Do you want me
not.
to hit it?
I don't know. I don't know what the
Swear
problem is.
It looks like the camera's good there.
So that's on my. You don't use the camera. You use this just like on the computer.
Special?
Well, I mean,
In
we
many
have the
ways?
technology to hook up to the camera.
I think you just want the light.
Yeah,
Here.
you
I
want
pride
the camera to
I
work.
pride myself as a darker person than you.
That's too bright.
It is. It gives me a
Okay.
headache, kind of.
So I don't want to do that.
Stare into the light.
Yeah, it's very bright.
Oh yeah,
Very-
those ring lights.
Okay,
will
so
mess you up.
did you go to Taylor Swift on Friday or Saturday?
Friday, we want to see pictures.
So
Oh,
there,
went to the shorter show.
So I
Okay.
didn't.
you saw Taylor Lautner. Were you excited?
I at least knew who he was.
I'm always surprised about how friendly she is with her exes. And she writes songs about
That's
all
good,
of them.
Some
though.
of them,
She does,
yes.
but his
It's
they
changing the
were-
narrative, Connor. It's changing the narrative.
So they were dating like a long time ago.
Yes.
Wasn't she? Wasn't her and Calvin Harris a thing? Wasn't that a?
Oh,
a
she's
well- a
dated.
well-known?
She's dated now.
The
Yeah.
Ole Miss catcher.
I don't.
Different
I don't
guy.
believe it's the same.
Different guy. Whoa. Okay. So
I think
you
she's-
were.
I
You
think
were.
She's looking at
Yeah.
me. She like turns her head and looks at me.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah.
She
And
wink.
There's,
She pointed at you. She wink.
there's under the lights
She
there.
has,
What was your
uh,
favorite part?
The whole thing. The whole experience.
Oh
It's a-
yeah.
She is amazing. Her ability to connect with her audience.
It's amazing. I was in town on Saturday and I didn't go anywhere near the concert, but you could just feel it. And then on Sunday, I stopped by the plaza to get some lunch, and it was only
Post Swifties.
yes,
Yeah.
who seemed like they had the best night of their lives last night, which means the next day is not a great day.
Yeah.
And they were all wearing oversized Taylor Swift t-shirts that probably cost, I don't know, what, $65 or something like that. And they were looking around and going shopping and getting lunch. And I was like, I'm out of here.
So I saw some videos posted of like at the airport, like everybody had a Taylor Swift piece of merchandise on.
Yeah,
their
she took over the whole Midwest.
The merch trailer is like enormous, and people stood. I heard stories of people standing in line for like 4 hours.
Yes, I definitely saw
Wow.
some videos of that.
Did you get a koozie or anything? No koozie.
You
no
didn't get
Taylor Swift
anything?
koozie.
I got something. I probably won't wear it.
You got a shirt?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Come
Nice.
on, just one day.
Nice.
One day wear
It's-
it.
You should.
She is an amazing performer, and her show, it is worth every penny if you are a Taylor Swift fan.
Is
Like,
it?
Like, it's just,
Even if it's $1,500?
yeah, because you're going to pay that because you are a diehard.
Yeah. Yeah.
She puts on
most of her fans are
starts,
diehard.
She starts, and it's a 3 hour, about 40, 41, 42 songs.
Mhm.
She has special guests. She plays special songs. She just released her album Friday, so she played
Yes, Taylor's
a
version.
couple of off of there that people were weeping.
Yep.
There were some vault tracks.
The only thing
She brought that
I think
koi
I
pond
said this.
guitar.
I said this. to
Yes,
Nick,
yes,
and
the koi pond
And then
guitar.
Nikki next door went as well. I wish I would not have seen the giveaway of her open, like on TikTok,
Oh,
because it probably would have been a major surprise. But I knew what was happening.
Oh.
But just to see the reaction the first time, whether they're young, middle age, old, that see her for the first time and immediately break down.
Yeah, it's emotional. I mean, people weep.
Her connection to her audience is incredible.
I don't get it. I mean, she's great. She's fantastic. I don't get how it can be that emotional of a thing just seeing her.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not as
that is new within the last like 2
I
years.
like her, but not to that extent. But someone was telling me when she was because she opened up her Red tour in Omaha,
Right.
so she was here for like a week rehearsing,
Mhm.
and like people would see her out and they would like, oh my gosh, and but at that concert, they're saying she connects with the audience. She like looks people in the eye, and I saw that as well. Like she'll come up to the side, like on their song 22, she has a hat on and she gives it to a fan.
Ah,
But she like
Classic
her
move.
connection to her audience.
throwing guitar picks out.
Her parents do. So they have
What?
on the side, they have like a celebrity tent. So Jennifer Garner was there.
yeah. Why?
Taylor Lautner and his wife. And then they had some other person who I have no clue who that is, but apparently they're famous.
His Taylor Lautner's wife, Taylor.
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
It's a really
That's right.
it's
Taylor
yeah.
Lautner's wife. His name's Taylor.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
on the side,
Which Taylor are you referring
on the
to?
side, they have just like this really like it's a tent. Like Mahomes and Kelsey
Mm-hmm.
were not there; they were up in the suite.
Oh, okay.
But they were there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wasn't
but-
Jennifer Gardner there?
yeah.
or
So she
something?
was in the tent.
Why?
And because she's a big
Capital
fan.
One had something going on.
But why?
So
That's actually that might
well,
be it.
so no, Capital One sponsors the tour.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
see,
you go.
okay,
so
there
you
you go.
get
Definitely
so
right. Yeah.
everybody that goes in gets a wristband with the light on, and it has a Capital One tag on it. So Capital One actually sponsors her concert.
Well, I had no connection between Jennifer Garner and Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't
Was
know.
Rob
like,
Riggle there?
just random celebrities showed up.
Big Slick.
Like
Yeah.
wanted to go to
Paul
wanted to be
Rudd.
in Kansas City to see her, but they have this. I would call it a tent, like on the side of the stage.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen it.
And they have celebrities, and then her parents, or at least her mom, comes to every show, and everybody's coming up to them and they want to exchange bracelets or give them something they made, and they hand out guitar picks.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're like cool. They're talking to all the fans. You would think somebody that is on that level would be distant, but she seems like she's just one of you, and she connects with the fans. Like she's making eye
Yeah.
contact with everybody.
I saw videos when like she got off the stage and she was sort of behind, and she seems genuinely grateful.
Yeah.
And maybe even a bit surprised by the reaction that people have.
And she does that like during the show. You can tell because basically it is 3 hours of Taylor Swift karaoke.
Yeah.
Everybody knows every word to the song,
I
and
know.
she
I'd be a
encourages
bit
everyone to sing.
intimidated.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone stands for the majority of the show, and everybody is singing, and the energy in the building is off the charts.
It was
But
very odd seeing it and everybody, seeing that stadium and everybody wearing like purple and pink.
Well, so that day, so some people were upset. Like people have been working on their outfits for months and months and months.
But then she did the release of the album.
And they said, "Hey, Swift Nation, tonight is purple."
Yeah.
So people were scrambling to go get purple to add to their outfit
for sure
to wear in the Kansas City shows.
So was it purple out? Was it pretty much predominantly purple?
It looked
I
like
don't-
Easter.
Yeah,
Like, it looked
A lot of
like
pastels?
Easter.
People
Yes,
are,
yes.
a lot
Okay.
of sequins. A lot of
Yeah.
people had their faces painted.
Like
Yeah.
a Northwestern football game.
Takes on a different meaning now.
People clap differently at a Taylor Swift concert.
Oh,
Oh.
no. Like
Is that the Shrek
like
clap?
a Shrek clap?
This was more. She's on a whole different level in terms of a performer and how talented she is. So she plays the guitar for a while, and then she plays the piano. But her singing, like you don't. There at first, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch here because I bet she lip syncs a
Yeah.
couple of songs. No,
She rips him.
she is
Good.
She is right
Good.
on.
Well,
And-
I'm glad
and
to
she
hear-
goes. It's nonstop, and her
Yeah, it
endurance.
was 250 on Friday night,
Yeah.
like 310 on
She
Saturday.
played a longer version apparently on Saturday of
Okay.
Live. And then she played another song, a surprise song on the piano.
And you
But
don't
she's
you like
going
know,
nonstop.
you go to concerts and you don't really know when it's going to start when the actual main
Yeah.
performer
Yeah,
comes
you know,
on.
ish.
Don't you know, like with Taylor
start around
Swift, I
this
mean,
time.
it's like
She's punctual.
hard time.
So this is a new thing. There was a guy we were talking to who I believe is involved with the whole concert because he was talking about they have when they pull out, so they're already out of Arrowhead. He said they immediately start taking down the stage and everything. It takes them like 4 days to get everything set, and then they tear it down and they're off to. I think
Is
it's
it Denver
I
now?
think they're Denver.
Yeah.
So there are 89 semis
Jesus.
that haul the
Uh,
show.
I bet people
Wow.
probably just follow him.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah. Wow.
But
So yeah, if you see that going down, they'll probably go through Kansas. They probably won't come up here and go through I-80.
yeah, but they have
Sad.
so because I said
Just missed her.
because knowing Arrowhead and the K and that whole parking lot, I'm like, where are these parked at? Because like where the Chiefs players parking lot is, I'm like, okay, that's where usually a lot of the TV trucks are.
Yeah.
and you can-
Yeah. Well, there's some space underneath
yeah. Well,
because they have the space underneath where the players can park for the
Yeah.
Royals and the Chiefs
um,
down that little ramp. The
but
buses go down there.
I'm wondering if like they were full because the Chiefs are on the roads or the Royals are on the road.
Yeah.
But they have 89 semis, so they were parked like strewn way out. But it's like he was saying there's a new thing in the industry is people get upset is they don't know when the show's going to start. So you see more artists that have the countdown clocks,
Good.
and she has a big, huge countdown clock.
Good.
And right when it hits 0, the show starts.
Yeah,
That's
I'd be pissed if that happened at that kind of concert. Good for her.
Yeah, because I think my wife went to Lady Gaga not too long ago. I think it was the last time she was in Omaha. And she was supposed to start at a certain time, and it didn't start for like an hour or an hour and a half after. It was like, okay, like they were like people who paid good money were actually getting pissed off. People who are like diehard Lady Gaga fans, like, okay, this is kind of ridiculous. So I don't even know what the explanation was, but I would get like 15, 20 minutes, whatever. Well, you going over an hour. It's like, all right, let's get this thing going here.
We all remember Rick Ross.
Yes, we do.
That was a tough one.
Maybe if you're 18 and under, maybe when the basketball portion is over, maybe I leave PBA.
Yeah.
That was wrong.
Clear it out.
The other thing about the whole experience is as long as she plays, and she plays like almost everything out of her catalog, and the way it's built up from eras that she has had, it's a whole production. It's like you walk out and it's an emotional thing. But here's the thing that I'm sure will be like the fallout. The only negative thing, it was a blank show in the parking lot trying to get out. So you have an abundance of people that's probably their first time at Arrowhead.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting in and out of a Chiefs game is a lot better. They didn't have people were confused on where the Uber and Lyft lots were.
Boy.
People were confused on where the side of the stadium they were on. There was people crawling over fences. They had like a little walkway. Part of the parking lot that is not normally used was used for this concert. So there was like a lot of confusion. The traffic was just unbearable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, there was 65,000 people.
And there was a fair amount of people outside, across the street, just hearing a faint like, oh, that's it. That's sitting over at the Taco Bell.
Yeah. Okay. So what do they call that? That is tailgating. When you are, and it's like at every show. Even I remember in Detroit where they were indoors at Ford Field, there were people outside of Ford Field, and you could still hear.
Yeah.
I imagine if you were like across the street where
probably a little,
where they have
but
that,
not enough.
That
the old
little
hotel?
circular building, that tourism thing.
Yes.
Okay, so that's like the big lot where people were sitting and tailgating to listen that didn't have tickets. Because if you didn't have a ticket,
you couldn't get into
the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like you had to show your ticket, and then you showed your parking pass.
You know what? They're smart to do that.
But people smart. That's across the country. That's what people are doing. They don't have tickets for the show, so they go there.
Tailgating.
Ticketmaster drops tickets like right before the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was two people that had just at 6:30 got their tickets off of Ticketmaster. They did a drop of tickets.
Yeah, I checked one of the secondary sites at about 6:30, and it was $1,500.
Yeah.
So is it? So
they dropped
when they
tickets,
drop them,
but they didn't drop the price.
Okay, that's what I assume. It's probably more.
Now in the Swiftie gang, the week before in Cincinnati, they dropped tickets and dropped the price, but not in Kansas City.
Must have been a lot of empties in
Kansas City's special.
Yeah.
Well, so
Burrowhead.
One final
in Burrowhead.
Well, I mean, last time I was there were Bengal and Chief fans fighting. I didn't see any Swifties fighting.
You didn't?
That would have been funny if you did.
No, I mean, how could you fight there? Like everybody was in a good mood.
I don't know. I just want to
like
see
everybody was dancing with everybody.
After having an emotional reaction.
I still feel there have been a lot of pageant mothers, and I feel like pageant mothers always want to fight each other.
There were a lot of 40-year-old moms.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of
nice.
That tracks.
Dressed to the part.
Nice.
And then there were just some of us that were just fans, but just observers.
Just taking it all in
with your big T-shirt on,
the big Swiftie T-shirt, making sure it's purple.
What were you wearing?
Did you have a button?
What were you wearing? Were you wearing like this?
I was wearing my Jim Flowers T-shirt and a bucket hat.
All right.
Jim Flowers T-shirt.
What's a Jim Flowers T-shirt?
I have a Jim Flowers caricature on my T-shirt.
What?
Wait, really?
Why?
Because
this is made up. You don't have this.
No, I do.
Why wouldn't you wear this?
Did you?
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah,
was this a commercially made
why have we never seen this?
This is like 8 years ago. Triple B heard me talking about Jim Flowers, who at the time was making a transition.
Sure.
From one job to another.
Indeed.
Yeah. And so he sent me a picture with Jim Flowers' face on it, a caricature.
And you got to
put
I
wear
on a
it
T-shirt.
periodically because not everybody gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And so I thought
nobody
will understand it here, so it's cool.
Did anybody in Arrowhead get it? Oh, that would be
That's
awesome.
Jim
Like, why do you have a
Flowers.
shirt of Jim Flowers there?
I grew up with
That'd be
Jim
awesome.
Flowers.
Let me find the shirt.
There were people who were calling. There were Swifties who were calling Arrowhead Arrowhead.
Arrowhead?
Era.
I get it because it's the
It's
Eras
like the
tour.
Eras
Yeah.
tour.
Well,
Yeah.
I just hope you picked up your bracelets because if Mahomes falls on one during the season,
Yeah, Gary's
you'll be
triggered.
livid.
He was mostly Gary was just there mostly to watch the turf to make
Yeah.
sure nobody.
I was asking
messing
him
it
how the
up too
turf held
bad.
up.
Well, don't they put the white like boards down
I would think so.
like they did at the old Red Sky Music Festival?
Yeah, I would
Oh,
think you'd have the
remember the Red
boards down.
Sky?
Red Sky.
I do. Well, we gotta fire that thing up for
Guys,
Pink.
We'd be counting down to the days of Red Sky if it was still a thing. Because
Isn't
wasn't it
there
early
another-
August?
Well, you should have had
Yeah.
it last week when it was 72 degrees the
Yeah.
entire week.
Yeah.
Ah,
Isn't there a second show at the Chuck this summer?
not Pink.
Is
Yes.
it Def Leppard?
What?
It might be.
Def Leppard is going to perform outside?
Yeah.
No way. This is awesome. Who are they with?
Great question.
Probably
you
like
know it's someone in a
Sticks and
similar
38
Exactly.
special or
Yeah.
something
Yep.
like that.
Is it Toto?
Toto.
I want Toto.
Let's see. Yeah.
Ashley?
Molly Crew and Def.
Oh!
This is actually before Pink. A week before Pink.
Pink, you're welcome.
Would you like to go to a Sunday night Motley Crue Def Leppard World Tour concert at the Chuck? And then the next Monday, the 21st, is Pink Summer Carnival 2023.
Guys, we could see Tommy Lee again.
If you or
He's
anyone you
back.
know or love is in Mecca, listen up. Look right here. You don't have enough beer. You think you do. You don't.
for
Order
Motley
more.
Crue and Def Leppard or
Yeah.
for Pink?
Both.
You're right.
Order more.
I would go see both of them.
Oh, I totally would.
Oh, dude,
I would go for free just to kind of take in the.
If you haven't seen
atmosphere.
Def Leppard by now, like, what are you even doing? Like, you could have stumbled upon one of those.
But
They've
how
been
do
here so many times.
How do
You
they
never been to a
how do-
state fair?
How do they sound?
That's the thing.
I'm not
How
interested in
How
Def
does
Leppard.
Motley Crue sound?
I'm out on
guys?
Def Leppard. Forget about it.
Yes.
They were the headliner for something. I think it was them and maybe it was Journey or something like that. And I was like, I'm interested. Or maybe it was REO Speed. It was REO Speedwagon. It was Def Leppard and REO Speedwagon. And they were like, Def Leppard is the headliner.
Will
I'm
there
like,
be Husker gear worn because of Tommy Lee's association with the university?
and
the band?
There will be Husker
Oh,
gear
yeah.
worn.
And
There's
One
no
of their
doubt
own
about it.
comes back home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I went just for the REO Speedwagon part and left. I was like, this is a perfect concert for me. I can get home right as Def Leppard is playing. I don't have to beat traffic or
Yeah.
anything like that. I'm out for Def Leppard. Sorry.
Nice.
But
I
you
did
guys
not
should all
know
go to
that.
the
I did
concert.
not know that was going to be an out. Wow. I didn't. First of all, didn't even know they were going to be here, or an outdoor concert. I think Josh is right. I don't think they are prepared.
No, they think they are. They're
Yeah.
patting themselves on the back, going, "Great job, Jim, with that beer order. You did great."
You think on a Sunday night though?
Sunday night.
People got to work the next day, Josh.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Really? Then why were fireworks going off in my neighborhood at 10:30 last night?
Yeah, there were fireworks last night.
Why?
Yeah, I heard a couple little bangs.
Your
Yeah.
rubes.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Yo, rubes.
What did you do besides go to Twitter and complain?
That was it.
That was it.
Okay. You didn't.
I
you didn't
knew.
go
I knew.
outside?
I knew. I'd counter with like the radio rant the next day. Today.
You have
well,
that, and that's
or-
good. You have that platform.
Or you counter with, why weren't you mowing your lawn at 7 this morning?
I thought about it. Somebody was mowing at 9:00 last night. I was like, what's going on? Where do I live?
Do
What's
they
going
have
on?
a headlight on their mower?
No, it's light outside
was,
at
it
9
was
o'clock.
light. You're coming close
no,
to
no,
it.
no,
You're
no.
trying to beat the
At
light.
9 o'clock, boy, you're gonna
It's going to be tough.
you're gonna leave
you're
some.
fine.
You're fighting it.
If
a
you
little.
are, if you're a
Unless you got
stickler
the
on your
Roomba
lines,
mower.
yeah.
But then there's no better time to admire the mow
Mhm.
afterwards because you still have a little bit of light in the sky and it's like,
Solid
ooh, you got
point.
that.
I don't know.
You
By
got
the
that
time you get done,
nice. You got that nice night dew coming in. It's
Not as
like
hot.
there's a little
that
wetness
is true.
to it.
That is true. You
that's
don't have
a-
to rely on the sprinklers. Then.
That is a good time to
is.
admire the gas mow,
Mhm.
or in Josh's case, the lib machine mow.
That's right.
The what?
The lib machine.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got the-
use
I
the
got the-
vacuum
the
cleaner
electric-
as a mower.
Yeah, the electric mower, which has no sound at all. My old neighbor used to have that. And yeah, I just hear it. I'm like, oh, I think he's mowing, but I can't tell. He might be vacuuming. I'm not sure. He might have the dust buster on the lawn. It's just like those things move though.
Well, I'm glad to hear it was a good time. I was concerned about everybody. I saw it, like I said, on Sunday morning. It looked like everybody in Crown Plaza had
Too much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they had the best night of their lives.
They came
last
down
night.
from the high.
Yes, correct.
Whatever,
it wasn't
that high
like
was.
it wasn't that they had a bad time. It was that they realized that today is going to be infinitely worse than yesterday.
Yes, because nothing could compare to what they
They
experienced.
probably
the night
have a
before.
drive coming up. You know, they're going to go home. Which, by the way, on 29 on Sunday afternoon, hope anybody wasn't coming back the same way I was. Disaster.
Oh, just construction, or
I was stopped on the road for probably an hour.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah, that's a trip.
Accident or construction?
I think they just shortened it down to one lane.
Oh,
I didn't see any of the, but it was unbelievable. Usually when they go down to one lane, it's like, all right, we'll go a little bit slower for a little while, and then we're fine. Nope, I was stopped.
That's no good.
I was stopped. I put it in park for a couple minutes.
Oof.
Not good.
Really?
Yeah, that was a 3-hour drive that turned into probably, I don't know, 4.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I hate that for you.
Yeah. No, wasn't fun.
Can I present the group with something I saw over the weekend related to Taylor Swift?
Sure.
And I want you to all tell me if you love your children this much.
So you were wearing that at the concert.
That is actually a cool shirt.
That's not bad.
Wait,
he literally has that. It's a shirt with Jim Flowers on it.
That's a good shirt.
That is a good shirt.
So mom and daughter go to the Taylor Swift show on Friday.
Just a mom and a daughter.
A mom and a daughter. They went with some friends. Next night, they let the kids go, and the moms go shopping at the plaza.
Where do the kids
Wait,
go?
so the daughter got to see it twice.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the kids went to the concert again.
Yes.
Okay.
And and Saturday night, the moms went to the plaza.
That's a pretty
And then
pricey weekend.
Yeah,
Josh,
that's
the kids up. Yeah.
They got to be a bougie family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. Dang. Seeing that show back-to-back nights.
I mean, you say,
Well,
we're just going to budget. We're going to set aside $5,000 for
I
the
know.
weekend.
I have heard of somebody
go to
that
Ireland for that.
last minute bought a ticket to Phoenix when she opened, and so they went opening night of her tour, and then they live in Chicago. So when she was in Chicago a couple of weeks ago, they went to that show as well. And they're thinking about going to Los Angeles at the end of her tour.
Man,
I have
I
read.
don't love a band that much.
I read an article that SoFi has a sneaky amount of tickets available. This show sold out everywhere, except LA.
Huh.
It's because they're like, hey,
Isn't she doing?
we're
is she
used to
doing
seeing her.
3 shows?
What does LA care about?
They don't.
What does LA care about? Can we figure that out? Do they care about anything? Do they care at all?
Yeah.
What would LA really show up for?
It's a great question.
Can we get, because they don't care about any of their sports teams.
The Lakers in the finals
Yeah, probably Lakers in the finals.
at home.
They show up for the Rose Bowl parade. Them and the tours.
Yeah. Yeah. Look
If
at those
they
mountains.
show up if the Kings are in the
they
Cup
show
finals.
up for award shows to be outside.
Yep.
Bunch of weirdos.
They show up in the cars on 5 and 405. and
LA
10.
is canceled. They're done.
They do not show up for any type of golf major.
That's true.
Nope. They don't
Although-
care about that.
I saw a guy at the farmers market this weekend wearing a LA Country Club.
Oh
US
yeah.
Open
Oh, he was
shirt.
one of the selected few to make it in. Wow.
Jeez.
Good for him.
I was there. You were not. Does that say it on the back?
It should have.
That's
Maybe.
that's what it should say when you get a shirt from the Masters.
I was one of 78 people who were allowed in. The rest were vendors.
I don't get it. LA, you gotta care about something, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have something. Can't just be the Oscars. Weirdos.
They love their premieres too. Yeah.
Wow, you're going to welcome in
Oscars,
USC
but also
and UCLA this time next year with open arms.
Yeah, seriously, what do you guys care? They're gonna be in for a rude awakening, because they're gonna get overtaken by their home games are gonna get overtaken by each school those first couple of
Which
years.
school will pay for the billboard first to be LA's Big Ten team?
like which
Like
not
Northwestern.
Well, I'm actually
does.
surprised.
Chicago.
I'm
I
actually
think
Same
Nebraska should do it.
Yeah.
They
Um,
should.
Well,
They really
Californians,
should.
so Californians for Nebraska are pretty organized.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they do something like that. But I'm surprised we've not seen like Big Ten advertisement in Dodger Stadium or Angel Stadium,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like we did at Yankee Stadium.
It's still there. It's
Yeah.
still in Yankee Stadium.
How much can it be to get an ad at Angel Stadium right now?
Like
Probably not.
Eight-
much.
well,
$18?
if you wait, are we talking before August 1 or after August 1?
Yeah.
Let's go before.
Well, I might try and squeeze you because they still have Otani.
Yeah, they're gonna get
How
Shohei
is
back.
Jim Delaney so good at horrible business deals? How he's got that billboard in Yankee Stadium. He's gonna have it for 15 years. It must have cost him like $5.
I bought a 50-year contract.
Jim friggin' Delaney.
Yeah, that's right.
Jim Delaney.
He just don't you ever forget that.
That's the lore of Jim Delaney. He just pushes people around in business deals. That's your price? No, this is the price. And it's going to last a long
Don't
time.
you ever forget.
But USC and UCLA, their stadiums are going to get overtaken by all the Big Ten schools that go there in the first couple
It's going to be a great destination.
And they're not going to travel.
It's like a bowl trip.
They're not going to travel to any of the Big Ten places because they love it. Because hey, why would we travel anywhere? This is Los Angeles.
The biggest one will be the Rose Bowl with UCLA because first of all, where the Rose Bowl is compared to UCLA as a campus, it's not on campus, so you got to drive a ways. And it's not as appealing to a UCLA fan to go to a game at the Rose Bowl as it will be for a Nebraska fan.
Correct.
To come out to LA and watch UCLA Nebraska play in November at the Rose Bowl.
Absolutely. Fans want it more.
That's right.
That's right. That's how I would put it.
Well, there's a reason.
They better figure it out. They better wake up.
There's a reason why certain programs are traveling multiple times to Los Angeles because either you have a huge alumni base that lives in that state, or your fans are going to travel.
Right.
Like you're going to have to.
Weekend.
This is
Nebraska's going to USC next or 24, right? And then UCLA is coming here next year, or what?
So in the first 2 years, you will have gone to USC and UCLA.
Okay, so they're going to USC 24, UCLA, and
but
25.
So here will be the thing with a Husker fan. Like, let's say you're a Husker fan, live in Omaha, and you budget for one road trip a year, and then maybe you have the bowl game. Is what? Where are you going?
Well, I think you got to knock out the LAs in the first two. You got to do those both.
Okay, well, let's say I've already been there. So I went back in the 90s.
But you've already been everywhere else in the Big Ten.
I went, what was the last time Nebraska was at UCLA? 2012?
2012.
Yeah,
came here in
2012.
And then, if you went to USC and Bill Callahan said, I'm good.
No, thank you.
Even though everybody had a good time there. Like Nebraska fans had a good time. The team didn't want to be there very
Correct.
long.
Yeah. That was 08.
But
John David Booty.
No, 07.
So the Coliseum looks completely different from the last time Nebraska played there.
Oh, yeah.
The Rose Bowl actually looks a little different.
I think it's going to be overtaken by every Big Ten school in at least the first 2 years.
Yep.
And then it'll kind of normalize a little bit.
Except for Northwestern fans.
But they won't, except for Northwestern fans. Yeah. Well, I mean, there'll be a pocket, I suppose.
Yeah.
All the
maybe some alum.
The sports media.
Where are Husker fans going to go? LA or Cincinnati?
Ooh, in 25?
Yeah.
See, I still think that game gets X'd.
They're going to take that off.
Well, because there was no
shock
Cincinnati game here during COVID.
Uh-huh.
So that's a one-off.
Yeah.
And there's no talk
Where's
down
the
the
return
road
trip?
of Cincinnati returning.
Yep. Where's that return?
Even though now that becomes a Power 5 game.
Mhm.
Yep.
With a Big 12 opponent.
Oh, we finally get a Big 12 team.
But you know what? That's not a bad road trip. So the Cincinnati would not be a bad road trip. But if you're choosing one game.
Football.
Skyline Chili.
Ugh.
What's wrong with that?
Has anybody had it?
Yeah.
I don't have the urge to try. Is it? Okay.
It's soup and cheese.
I just don't have the urge
You have to
try
be there from there to understand it. Not everybody that is from Cincinnati thinks Skyline is great.
It's really the big pile of shredded cheese that bothers me the most.
Yeah, it's soup and cheese.
It's just way too much cheese.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a half a block of cheese on it.
It's just a pile of cheese. I don't mind the idea of like spaghetti and chili. That's
It's like a different type of meat sauce.
Exactly.
You show up with Runzas, they hand you Skyline chili.
Yeah.
I'm
we
down.
all got our thing.
I'm down. I almost went out of my way last time I was in Indianapolis because they have one in Indianapolis. I was like, I gotta, I'm close to a Skyline chili. I might go grab one. I didn't. I was too full off shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
I just don't know about going into a place that's my main meal is chili. Like on the side, okay.
It's unique. It's special. It's different.
It's on spaghetti.
Yeah, but it's I don't
fill
know.
you up.
Is it like the Runza where you do it once and you're like, I did it.
Probably.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Probably.
I bet it's just something to say you did.
Well, that is of the food hills to die on. If that's your native food, people will go hard in the paint for Skyline chili. Not everybody from Cincinnati, but a lot of people.
That's like us with Runza.
Yeah. But would you die on the Runza hill?
No, I wouldn't.
I would tell you.
I would say their burger's better.
I would tell you that Runza the restaurant is a really good stop because they have great, fries and onion rings and burgers.
And the ranch is
and then I would say if it's your first time at Runza, get a Runza.
Yeah, you got to try it.
Get a Runza. You got to try it. I like it. I still eat them.
I know some people who swear by it, love it, and always want one, but
I wouldn't say that I swear.
Like if Scott Docterman came on your show and he bashed Runza, would you go to bat for Runza, or would you like, you know what, you're making good sense?
I'd say, hey, you watch it, Iowa.
I
boy.
would say, have you tried the hamburger? If you haven't, then don't come at me.
How's your come and go?
You can say
You should say, Doc. You should say, Doc, we're just slumming it here, so that's why we go to Windsor.
We're just slumming it out here in the West.
Now we do have come and goes here.
Yeah, we do,
So
but they got a lot of them.
Yes, they do.
A lot of them.
And we took their Casey's.
Yep.
What else have we taken?
Who's
from
got more
Iowa?
influence on
Victory.
this? Who's got more influence on the
Wins
state right now?
the
FNBO or
Heroes
Casey's?
Trophy?
The Heroes. Who say it again?
Who has
Nick?
more influence on the state, FNBO or Casey's?
Ooh.
I
On
feel like
this state?
I feel like on the welcome to Nebraska sign should be presented by FNBO and Casey's
Yeah,
because they're everywhere.
they're pretty
And
recognizable
FNBO,
brands.
FNBO being a very charitable
Yes.
bank, they sponsor everything, but I
they
feel like
do.
they have about as much pull as anything.
They
here in the
sponsor
state.
everything.
They do, which is great. But now Casey's is everywhere. More so than like Walgreens. Just everywhere.
Doesn't FNBO sponsor both Creighton and Nebraska's like courts?
Yep.
And they have logos on both of those
Sure
courts?
do. And a bank arena.
In a Pinnacle
And a
Bank
Pinnacle
arena.
Bank arena.
They sponsor the Pinnacle Bank championship as well.
They do. Yes, they do.
With FNBO.
They I'm pretty sure they have something at the Pinnacle Bank Championship. I'm almost positive they
They're
do.
like, whatever.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
FNBO.
There's
12
room for
pole
both of
Pinnacle
us.
Bank.
Come on, you're the title sponsor. We'll just take care of one of the holes or a party zone or something.
Good
Come
for them, man.
on, you guys are fine with that.
We like when the banks are
Your
involved.
customers are yours, ours are ours. We can
Take good
coexist.
care of my money. That's all.
That's
that
right.
matters.
Yeah.
Remember
You can
FDIC?
sponsor whatever you want.
None of them answer the phone on the first ring, though.
That is true.
Mm.
That is true.
Ooh, those are fighting words.
Good job.
Now you're going against.
Thank you, Doug.
I mean, blue collar Doug, salt of the earth.
You know what Doug would
pull you
agree
up by
with?
your bootstraps now against a corporate giant.
Doug called us one day from California. He said, "Hey, it's Tuesday morning. I'm in California. Nobody's working." So me and Doug are on the same page. LA stinks.
All cares about nothing.
But did he call you like at 10? Because out there it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
We're like, Doug, you know there's a time change, right? He's like, this probably haven't gone to work yet. He's like, oh, no, nobody's working out here.
If I remember correctly, it was 8:45 in LA when he called.
Well, you gotta understand with the traffic, they're a little bit late starting.
Yeah.
Unless you're a company that does a lot of business on the East Coast.
But the point was well taken from Doug. There's nothing good about LA. Nothing's going on there.
I don't know.
care about anything.
I mean, look at out in Elkhorn. Elkhorn's tough to get to. A lot of traffic. They don't start until after 9. Us Omaha.
Do they not start until
started
after
8.
9 in Elkhorn? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a leisurely life.
Hey, that traffic going the opposite way on the Dodge Expressway.
Oh,
Good luck with that.
no, forget about that. Don't go anywhere near 204th Street either. That's the worst street in America. Horrible.
Is it?
It's the way I have to go
no
to
way.
get to Lincoln, and there's 500 stoplights, and
that's true.
and they are
was
not
not intended
timed up.
to be
It's
like
like
an
driving down.
expressway.
It's like driving down O Street in Lincoln. There's all these stoplights,
That is true about the stoplights.
and they're not timed together, so you can't like make it through all green.
yeah, like if you make it through one, you're like, oh, I'm good for the next 6.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
You could
that's
not have
how it works.
204th be an expressway. You got 2 high schools that are on 204th.
Well, make it do something. Make it
Elevated?
give me another lane, or elevator or something like that. Yes, that street sucks.
Make a viaduct. Okay.
Remember 156th Street?
That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I do.
It was a good street.
A lot of potholes. When you get to 156th
What is
and
your favorite
Maple,
cross street
that
in Omaha?
intersection,
Oh,
a lot
man.
Of, lot of potties there. A lot of potties.
144th I was on the other day. Nice smooth drive. Once you get off the
yeah.
Dodge Expressway, going south all the way to Harrison.
I haven't used smooth in our roadways in the same sense a lot lately.
No.
Well, you probably have not driven 72nd either going north or south. If you go south, you'll notice all of the vacant strip mall joints.
Right.
If you're going north, you will notice all the potholes that have never been fixed.
Yep. Yeah.
But when the Crossroads redevelopment is fixed, all of that will absolutely change.
Everything will be better.
Yeah.
Whenever that gets
No,
done.
there's no way. On 72nd, there are so many empty storefronts.
No,
people
no.
will stop running into me at
People
72nd Dodge.
People want to be near the happening parts of town, so they'll definitely
Why am I detecting some sarcasm?
fill in all those things. Definitely. Why
Josh-
is everyone looking at me?
Once again, Josh has a lot of problems with our
How come
municipalities.
I didn't ask you on Friday? They had a little accident, so the bus service in town was cut way back. You could have chimed in on that.
Oh, an accident. They just happen to have to pare the bus system down. Look,
don't give Josh an opening to talk about our city's municipalities.
I'm kind of glad you are, though, because
he will go.
These 4 buses will have to become 1, and
there's a passion.
12 people on it.
There's a passion out of Josh on this
instead of 3.
Hey,
yes.
Will you please? And can we follow with cameras in hand? Will you go to a city council meeting or us?
Hey, why is that seat up there empty? It's always empty.
But aren't we getting to the end there? Haven't we made our 3 months?
Has it been 6 months yet so we can kick this guy out? Yeah, it's got to be 6.
Okay.
Where's that guy?
Wonder where that guy is. I don't know. Where is he?
Why is that seat empty?
Where is he? Is he in Sarpy County?
Yeah,
or is he in Fremont?
He's somewhere in town.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in the area.
Yeah.
It could only be about 1 of 4 places.
That's when we became a big city. We got corruption in city council.
Yeah.
Yep.
But just like one time go and we get it viral.
Yeah.
It'd be good for the station.
It'd be huge for
I think
what
would you hammer on
for your
first?
conscience?
If you
You
only
get
had
it off your chest,
Wow.
get a conversation out
you only
there,
had
get on
one
the news.
topic, one thing that you could address.
That's
what
a
would,
bit for the show.
what would you go after?
Hey, for the
think
brand,
the
for the Connor Happer Show brand, Josh,
just
next
the,
city council meeting.
the amount of construction.
Okay.
I'm okay with all of the projects individually, but all of them at once without the manpower to finish them in an appropriate amount of time seems like that would help the most amount of people in this city versus me just, hey, why is the mayor never in town?
Although that's funny too.
Can you start with 90th and Center and the bridge repair there and how that's
Josh is going to start where it hit
worked
close to
on
home.
for ages now? Can you start there?
Maybe.
And then as I
Maybe.
drive down
4
Center, as I get
is-
closer to 80 or 680, because of the water main break, the old pipes,
Yeah.
they've got.
Oh, remember that when we had to fix every sewer underneath the city of Omaha? Haven't heard much about that, have you?
All right. That's good. That's crossover. Bye, guys.
You could be like the chicken wing guy in Lincoln. He went before the city council.
Saucy Nugs guy.
yeah.
Saucy Nugs.
Yeah.
That guy had a different agenda he was trying to get out there, I believe.
I believe so too, but
I don't know that was a bit. I think that was real.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was real. I think he really believed that, but he had some other stuff he wanted to say too about things, about society.
So
that was
no
down
better
the road.
place than to go before the city council.
No, it's all of a sudden that guy had a platform,
He did.
and then he started saying
where he was in a
things.
commercial with Scott Frost.
He was.
He was, yes.
What commercial was that?
I don't. It was for some type. I don't know what was it, but Scott Frost
In a real
introduces him.
commercial?
Yeah, it's like a commercial for something, and then Frost is like at a press conference, and he goes, "Go get him, Saucy Nugs," and then the Saucy Nugs guy comes up.
Okay.
What the heck was
I
it
vaguely
for?
remember this.
It was really cheesy and really terrible, but it was, yeah. And Scott Frost is kind of like, he goes, "All right, go get him, Saucy Nugs guy."
What was a worse idea? That or Bo coming out with a cat?
No, that was awesome.
That was great.
I think the Saucy Nugs one was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Scott Frost being in a commercial
Yeah.
hasn't aged
It
well.
wasn't in his comfort zone.
Bo coming out with a cat, that's fine. That's aged great.
No, it wasn't a commercial. It was
Like a bit.
It was a bit for the Husker Twitter account.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they-
Yeah.
they-
It was
they were hoping
promoting.
it did
It was
big
promoting
numbers.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew it was
yeah.
something that it was being promoting something.
God.
What a time.
Get him, Saucy Nugs guy.
Saucy Nugs guy.
Did he approve that? He's like, "You guys really gonna make me do this?" Or he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I like the Saucy Nugs guy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he was like,
He's like, I'm not doing anything
I like
right
this
now.
guy. This guy's pretty funny."
I guess
Hey,
I'll
let's don't
stop.
vet the guy or anything.
I guess I'll get off Call of Duty for a few minutes.
On that note,
The crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
I just wrote a great line for next song, and he's not going to use it.
It needs to fit, John. It needs
It
to
does.
fit. Stone Cold Steve Austin got big after you were born.
Yes.
I'm not saying it doesn't fit as in it doesn't make sense. I just need to make sure it fits it. I have criteria. I have rules that I wrote for myself when I'm doing this.
Okay, the line is Stone Cold Beer Bash, Princess Di Car Crash.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Warming up to start the week Monday. Expect sunny skies through most of the day with more clouds moving in the late afternoon. There's a chance for a few scattered showers and storms, mainly after 7 p.m. in the metro. Highs around 90. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save. Right now, get up to 40% off select bathroom faucets and vanities. Plus, buy Southwire Romex Simple 12-gauge indoor wire at our everyday low price of $109. Head to your local Lowe's or visit us at Lowe's.com for more deals you can't beat. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. About 7/6 through 7/12 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. U.S. only.
WORK Work News Radio.
Next up, how many days until Friday? Well, one coworker has it figured out. But first, the latest on a meatball shortage that could have been avoided by using Easy Cater.
I'm at the buffet where the meatballs are dwindling. While Caprese salad supplies remain strong, sources say the garlic bread is long gone.
Newsflash, it's hard to order the right amount of food, but at Easy Cater, we make hard easy. With catering experts ready to help 24/7. Order from over 100,000 restaurants at easycater.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
It's the Connor Happer Show with Connor Happer and Josh Otson. Let's get ready to rumble.
Licensing of the phrase "let's get ready to rumble" just over the last 7+ years internationally is grossed approximately close to $400 million in retail sales.
Really? You guys look like, what do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
On 1620, The Zone.
All right, good morning. Welcome in. Happy Monday. It's the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Mayor Josh Odson with you.
It's an honor. Hello. Thank you.
This is our first week that we are scheduled to be fully in studio Monday through Friday, normal shows for me since May 22nd.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Did not realize that.
Since the week of May 22nd, which was our birthday week.
Oh.
Remember birthdays?
Good party.
Yeah. We had those really good sandwiches.
Oh.
That was a good sandwich.
I dream about that sandwich.
I'm chasing that sandwich.
Yes.
Much like the Swifties are chasing the feeling of Friday and Saturday night in Kansas City, I'm chasing the feeling that sandwich gave me. Hello, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. Happy deadest sports week of the year. This is where we really get to get in our bag. Will we be drinking Capri Suns at any point this week, Josh?
It's on the grocery list after the show today.
Hell yes.
What's your flavor?
Hell yes. Nothing like I don't like cherries and berries that much.
Okay.
So I'm more of like a.
It's a good note.
I'm more of like a melony.
Melon. Okay.
Like a or just a normal, like, I don't even know what the flavors are, like tropical wave or something like that.
Okay.
That sounds like a flavor of Capri Sun.
It really does.
Okay. Poll question: is tropical wave a flavor of Capri Sun? Without even Googling it.
I like it.
Capri Sun flavors. Capri Sun fruit naturally flavored. Capri Sun roaring waters. Mango, orange, grape, strawberry, cherry. I don't think it is. So definitely a good poll question. That's up at Happer Show. You can vote there. Yippee wonders on the text line, why the bleep did Max Anderson go to the Tigers? Well, because they drafted him, Yippee. 45th overall last night.
These are not like free agent signings.
Yeah, just you can't really help it. The Royals did draft at 44, and they took somebody else. I have complaints about what the Royals did last night, but I don't think anybody's prepared for that quite yet.
Love something as much as the Royals love drafting a high school player.
They do. They drafted the They drafted the two riskiest demographics of players that you could possibly get. One at 8th overall with a high school catcher. What do we know about high school catchers? They either A, don't usually stick at catcher, or B, just don't work in general.
But Salvi's old.
Yeah, when they drafted MJ Melendez too. Now they're trying to play him in right field. He sucks at that. So I don't know what they're going to do with Mitchell, the guy that they drafted last night, whatever. And then they drafted a right-handed high school guy, a right-handed high school pitcher, which is the other scariest demographic of person that you could possibly draft in the money rounds of the MLB draft. But good for the Royals. They're doing their thing. Speaking of the draft, Bryce Matthews, 28th overall last night. First round draft pick, Bryce Matthews. The first Nebraska first round draft pick in baseball, basketball, football since?
Oh, is it Sue?
1 year later, Prince Amukamara.
Oh yeah, okay. Apologies to the Amukamara estate.
So that means Bryce Matthews became the first round pick in either three of those drafts, the three major drafts, MLB, NFL, NBA, since Nebraska's been in the Big Ten.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Not great. Not great. We will discuss that at length during the show today. I have a couple of things with that, but awesome for Bryce. He gets to go back to his hometown and or at least his organization's hometown in Houston.
Remember on Friday when we asked if any of them would be taken on Sunday?
And they all did.
Yes.
Bovey, Max, and Bryce Matthews. So that was a pretty cool deal for those three guys, and they're now significantly richer than they were before, which is very nice. So we'll talk about some of those draft numbers that we just hit on there. We officially have a situation at Northwestern. We got a situation. I don't think that 2-week suspension is going to hold anymore.
No,
that 2-week suspension in July when we're in the mega dead period and every other coach in the country is on vacation and not recruiting and not doing anything. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to hold anymore for Pat Fitzgerald. The Home Run Derby is tonight. We have another situation at West Virginia with Bob Huggins. Some confusing things going on there. And we'll ask, much like another man did over the weekend, what the hell is a blizzard?
What the hell
is a blizzard? Also, maybe a small Coach Prime update as well.
Love those.
That is right. Yippee says Max Anderson should have been a Royal. Yeah, well, I don't know. I would have preferred that the Royals drafted a lot of different people, but
Andrew says on the YouTube,
hello, Andrew.
Doesn't matter what KC does. They suck at development.
That is absolutely true.
Great take, Andrew.
That is absolutely true. They could draft the best player with the best trajectory of all time, and it probably still wouldn't work out. Like and Bobby Witt Jr. has become a pretty good Major League Baseball player now. It seems like he's doing so in spite of what the Royals are teaching him in the minor leagues.
Might I remind you of Ryan O'Hearn?
Just got to move those hands a little bit. All of a sudden, you're an all-star. It's great.
I'm sorry, I had to trigger you.
It's amazing. Mike Schaefer will join the show. At 11:30, we'll ask him if he'd like to click on any links. We'll jump into some recruiting items with him and some Nebraska football. We'll get into the draft pick stuff with him as well. No Sam today. This is the week where a lot of the scribes decide, I'm out. I'm on vacation.
Sure.
We'll be missing Sam this week. We'll be missing Mitch this week.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we have so far. So it's MLB All-Star Week.
Luckily, there's plenty to talk about.
These are the deadest 4-ish days on the sports calendar. The Wednesday is the deadest. What?
Don't discount my ESPYs preview.
There's an ESPYs preview on Wednesday?
I have no idea.
I think the ESPYs are actually on Wednesday, right?
I think so. It's generally
Usually the day after the All-Star game. Definitely don't care about the ESPYs anymore.
No.
There was maybe a point where I did care about the ESPYs, but I don't care about it anymore. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. If you want to get in touch, you can feel free to do so at Happer Show, at Connor Happer, on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. We'll be pumping out poll questions like nobody's business. And you could text or call in to the hotline at 402-951-1620, the hotline powered by 42 Degrees. The Source, by your mom's house. Email into the Equitable Bank inbox, Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com. And leave a comment on our YouTube stream, as well as Travis, Andrew, Yippee all have this morning. I have my camera working for the moment.
Don't touch it.
We'll see if I just dive out at any point. But we're here and we're ready to roll on a Monday of a normal week of all of us here in studio. Can we make it through the week without anything coming up or any of us being gone? We will find out. What a fun subplot.
Ooh.
What a fun subplot to this week. We'll be back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Schaefer for Ted and Wally's, 2 locations, one in the Old Market and in Benson. What goes better after a wonderful meal? Say you're in Benson looking for a great place to eat. You roll into Taste of New Orleans. You get your po' boy, maybe have a little bit of gumbo. And what goes with that? Ice cream. Ultra premium ice cream from Ted and Wally's. You swing into Ted and Wally's, whether it's a quart or a half a gallon or just a couple of scoops, you're going to love the ice cream at Ted and Wally's. So many different flavors and so many locations. 2 of them, in fact, Old Market and Benson. And when you go there, tell them Severe sent you.
Join us on July 22nd from 4 to 11 at the Ralston Granary event for one of the greatest team-ups of all time, beer and barbecue. Lagerfest 2023 brings more than 20 Omaha area breweries serving their most crushable craft lagers in partnership with the Ribstock Barbecue Festival. Omaha's premier barbecue event combined with delicious local brews. You can't beat it. Don't miss Ribstock and Lagerfest's family-friendly event July 22nd from 4 to 11 at the Ralston Granary Event Center. Visit ribstockbarbecue.com.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. To find a store near you, go to metalsupermarkets.com.
Paid for by Maxiderm Labs. Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your performance in the bedroom? If you're a 5, take it to 10. If you're a 10, why not take it up to 15? With Maxiderm Power Surge. Maxiderm's new Power Surge Red Pill makes you more potent than you or your partner ever imagined. It's like going from a sedan to a supercharged high-performance sports car, and it works fast, just minutes. And now you can try it free. Just call 1-800-418-4697. If you thought being a 10 was great in the bedroom, just imagine what a 20 must be like. Experience off-the-scale virility with Maxiderm's new Red Pill Power Surge. You'll never want to go back to being just a 10. Call 1-800-418-4697 now to experience male enhancement supercharged. 1-800-418-4697 for your free trial and ask about our VIP club rewards. Hurry, this offer is limited. Call 1-800-418-4697. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
With the 28th pick of the 2023 MLB Draft, the Houston Astros select Bryce Matthews, a shortstop from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Woo! Poor
That's
Bryce
funny.
Matthews.
I had not heard that.
That's the clip of that Bryce Matthews has forever and ever and ever.
If he becomes a Hall of Famer, they cannot use the clip of him being drafted.
It's so loud. Well, you know what happened?
They just really hate Rob.
Well, he acknowledged it. He acknowledged it.
Oh, yeah.
So there was like a little pause in there, and he sort of looked up, and he's like, "Man, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do here?"
We got him on the ropes.
And then Manfred does a thing where, like, whenever Manfred is talking and there's a huge crowd around him, it always sounds like he's hammered for some reason. Remember he did that thing after the World Series a couple years ago where he was giving the person the truck, and there was like something he said afterwards that there was something playing, like his voice was playing in his ear on a delay, and he sounded like he was just hammered. And last night, I don't think his voice was playing on a delay in his ear. He just couldn't hear himself because he was drowned out by the booze for him and potentially the Houston Astros as well.
Yeah, seems to be both.
This is an easy combination there.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear it again. Can I request that we play it again?
Yeah, I'll have to pull it up, but yeah, I can absolutely. make
I
that happen for you.
apologize.
No.
I just want to hear it again because it's so funny to me. Poor Bryce Matthews, but it wasn't his fault. They're not doing that.
With the 28th pick of the 2023 MLB Draft, the Houston Astros select Bryce Matthews, a shortstop from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Why did the Astros put that out?
Thank you, drunk Rob Manfred.
This is their own Twitter account.
Look, I mean, that's all they got. It's like just selected.
I think the graphic will do just fine.
It's the clip. It's the moment it all changed. Really funny. That slot, by the way, valued at $2.8 million on the old signing bonus there for Bryce Matthews.
Yeah, what did Brunt say? The middle infield for Nebraska is now valued at $5 million.
Yeah, just a hair under $5 million when you combine him and Max, who got drafted 44th overall last night by the Detroit Tigers, not the Royals, as Yippee might want you to believe. So highest baseball pick since Alex Gordon went second overall in 2005. And I thought, okay, so let's go back. How many draft picks has Nebraska had, first round draft picks, in MLB, NBA, NFL, men's football, men's basketball, and baseball? And I just said, all right, I'll go back to 2000 because that should be an easily countable number. For Nebraska, that number is now 6. Their names. There's 4 football players and 2 baseball players. There's no basketball players. There was a couple that just missed the cut. Nebraska's had a couple second rounders. And then they had a first rounder in Vincent Hamilton in 98, I believe. Fabian Washington, Adam Carricker, Sue, Prince, Alex Gordon, Bryce Matthews. And he is the first, Bryce Matthews is the first round draft pick in any of those sports since Nebraska has been in the Big Ten. In fact, since 2010, when I guess it would have been the spring of 11 when Prince went. All right, no, maybe it's the spring of 10. Anyway, definitely the first of the Big Ten era, or that played in the Big Ten for Nebraska, which is, let's just take a moment and think about that. That's bad, Josh. That is not good.
Yes.
1 first round draft pick in the 3 major sports, and it was at the tail end of the first round, and it's been 13 years now. 12 years. Bad.
And many would say, and it doesn't matter in any way, but that drafting Bryce Matthews in that slot was a massive reach.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was really getting some love. I think he did really well at the draft combine. Like you may say it was a reach there, but that's often how it works with Major League Baseball. Anyway, there's teams that reach based on money. You only get so much in your in your salary pool. Like it works differently than in the NBA and the NFL drafts. You're not just taking the best player off the board. There's signability that goes into it as well. So obviously, Bryce, a first-round draft pick, he's obviously gone from Nebraska now, just as the other Nebraskans, Max Anderson, Mike Bovee, are going to be gone as well. So 6 since 2000. And just to compare, I went back and it was first Big Ten school that came to my mind, Ohio State. I knew it was going to be a big number.
Oh, no.
I knew it was going to be a big number.
A big number in football alone.
Do you know the number? Did you see it when I tweeted it earlier?
I know I read it, but I did not comprehend it or retain it.
Since 2000, Ohio State has had, in the 3 major sports, football, men's basketball, baseball, 52 first-round draft picks.
Wow.
Compared to Nebraska's 6. 40 first-round football draft picks. 40 since 2000. 10 men's basketball first-rounders and 2 baseball first-rounders. Okay, so maybe Ohio State's an unfair comparison. Let's go down 1. Let's go down a level. Let's go to Michigan. Let's check them out.
Many would say Michigan's better than Ohio State.
Maybe as of right now, that's true. I would say over the 20 years, Michigan's lagged behind a little bit.
Okay.
Michigan since 2000, or 23 years, whatever. Football, men's basketball, baseball. Michigan has produced 33 first-round draft picks. 19 football, 13 men's basketball, and 1 in baseball. And then I thought, okay, let's go down 1 more. Let's see how close we get. And maybe tonight I'll readdress this and I'll pull out everybody's from the Big Ten in that period of time, or maybe I'll just do in the Big Ten era. I guess since Nebraska joined in 2011. There's a couple different ways I could do it, but I just had a couple minutes because I thought of this earlier this morning. I went to Michigan State. Who's had varying levels of success in football. Obviously been pretty consistent in basketball and varying levels of success in baseball. They've had 0 first-round draft picks in baseball during that period of time, but 18 total. 7 football and 11 men's basketball. Obviously, it sounds a little bit different for them because they're sort of a basketball blue blood, and so their operation is a little bit different. Those are the 3 that I pulled: Ohio State 52, Michigan 33, Michigan State 18, Nebraska over the same period of time 6, and all of them, with the exception of Bryce Matthews, being drafted in the time span of 2005 to 2010.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to put a damper on it, but I genuinely wondered. I was like, okay, this is. I mean, we got to put this in a little bit better context. Being a first-round draft pick is huge. Having first-round draft picks is huge, and regardless of how it happened, you could say, hey, look, we have produced now a first-round draft pick. Nebraska's had 2 in baseball since 2005. They had a time span during, I guess we're just talking about post 2000 now, from 2005 to 10, where they had 4 in football. They've had 0 men's basketball, but they've had a couple guys who've gone off into the NBA and had varying levels of success during that time. And I don't know. So I'll find this out after I dive back into it a little bit tonight. I'm not sure where Nebraska ranks amongst everybody in the Big Ten over those 3 sports over 23 years now. It's got to be close to the bottom.
I would imagine you're going to be very thankful Rutgers and Northwestern are in the Big Ten Conference.
Northwestern's had a few first-round draft picks in football.
Yeah.
I can't think of Northwestern is probably a good one. I mean, I can't think of too many basketball guys that would have been drafted high for them. Certainly didn't have any baseball guys.
I feel like Maryland's going to be pushing 6.
Maryland's definitely had a couple baseball players. They added another first-round draft pick last night in baseball. Definitely has some basketball guys and maybe a football guy or 2 that are mixed in there too. I would think that they would probably eclipse Nebraska's 6.
Yeah.
So That's not good, Josh. That's not good. And, it sort of understates where Nebraska's at from a talent. And you could look at those individual guys. I mean, first-round draft pick is a really hard thing to do. But when you compare it to some of the schools that you're chasing, it really understates the importance of those type of guys. Once again, these are hard numbers, and it fails to recognize like how they got there or the circumstances. Like Randy Gregory could have very easily been a first-round draft pick. He just had some issues around the time he was drafted, right? So maybe you could say, all right, they had some more talent, but still the numbers are what the numbers are. Fabian Washington got picked by the Raiders because he was extremely fast. Sue was an ironclad first-round pick. So was Prince. So was Alex Gordon. And then there's Adam Carricker, and then there's Bryce Matthews. But 52 compared to 6, it shows you the difference.
I just did the math on Maryland.
Yeah. My guess is like 15.
They have had, I just did the NFL, 6.
Just the NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People forget about Sean Merriman.
People do forget about Sean Merriman. Poll question, do people forget about Sean Merriman?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's dead week.
I would imagine that they have probably more than that in basketball. Remember, did Melo Trimble go in the first round for Maryland? Remember Melo Trimble?
I do.
I love another poll question. I guess this is Maryland Day. Remember Melo Trimble? I do.
Undrafted? Is that what I just read?
Did he go undrafted? He was about to be like a one and done guy, and then he stayed in college for 3 years. I think he was too short or something like that. I love Melo.
Worked out for 9 teams after the NBA Combine. After going undrafted, he joined the Sixers in the NBA Summer League.
Let me just do Maryland since you did football already. I got Juan Dixon. I got Chris Wilcox. I got Grievous Vasquez. Hell yeah. I got Alex Len. That's 4. I got Kevin Herter. That's 5. I got Jalen Smith. That's 6. So 6 more in basketball. And then baseball, if we're just to do this very quickly.
That's the exercise.
Yep. If we're using Maryland, baseball has had several draft picks, a supplemental first round. We're not going to count that since we didn't count Jabba Chamberlain. They had a guy go with first round in 2002 and a second rounder in 2014. That does not count. And a first rounder last night. So 2 for baseball in Maryland.
14.
6 plus 6 plus 2 is 14.
And you guessed 15. Good job by you.
Nebraska with 6 over that period of time. And Nebraska's a football school, right?
That's what we are told.
So the rubber meets the road there at some point. And once again, the understated importance, Nebraska won first-round draft pick now in those 3 major sports since they've been in the Big Ten Conference is, pretty wild to think about. And, maybe they had some guys who deserve to go I can't think of too many off the top of my head. But once again, we're just taking the sort of raw numbers here. It is staggering to think about. And no, you don't have to compare yourself to Ohio State. You don't. I mean, I just wanted to sort of understate, all right, that's what we're dealing with in terms of talent over at Ohio State. 52 first rounders, 40 first round NFL draft picks since 2000. 4D. 10 in basketball and 2 even in baseball. But even when, maybe this is a number where you figure, all right, Nebraska could probably make some hay baseball-wise against some other schools in the Big Ten. There's a lot of other schools in the Big Ten who have comparable numbers as far as first-round draft picks over the last 20 years. We've already come up with a few that have had the exact same amount as Nebraska.
Northwestern's had 5 football players.
5 football first-rounders? Mm-hmm. So all they got to do is come up with 1 basketball player? I don't think it's happening.
I cannot find a Northwestern Wildcat drafted period since 1999.
Yeah, Rutgers probably down there too. So Northwestern Rutgers probably saving Nebraska a little bit in this list that I suppose you don't want to be on. But I don't want to just say, hey, look,
hey, it's bad.
Bryce Matthews is a really intriguing baseball talent. Max Anderson is a guy who I would imagine would float through the lower levels of the minor leagues pretty quickly just because he is, I mean, what do we know about Max Anderson? It's not necessarily physically impressive. It's not anything from an athletic perspective that he does. The dude just hits. He just hits. So he'll go through pretty quick and he'll pick up how to hit against professional pitchers, I think, in a short amount of time. Yes, this is not like I didn't take any credit away from Bryce Matthews. It's very cool, and he gets to go to Houston. And I really like the Rob Manfred clip where he gets completely booed out of the building. That was awesome. By the way, to shift off this just for a brief second, I want to get your guys' thoughts on the numbers that I just laid out there, and we'll have more on it tomorrow at 951-1620, or you can text that number as well. Email Connor at 1620 the zone in the Equitable Bank inbox. By the way, the draft, it's the MLB Draft. It's a TV product now.
Yeah,
it's real.
I thought it felt bigger than it has in years past.
They did it in the Seahawks stadium. They had like draft correspondence. I thought Jay Johnson, he had to, I think, bite his tongue a few times because there was, I mean, for example, the guy that the Royals drafted, Mitchell, he's an LSU commit, right? So he has a bit of a conflict of interest. Like, oh well, he's gone. he just got a couple $1 million and he's probably gone now, right? But good for the MLB for figuring that out. They've had this, Harold Reynolds and Amzinger have been doing it now for almost 15 years, I think, as a TV product. They used to do it at the MLB Network studios in Secaucus, and it would be all dark and just on this small little like fake baseball field studio that they have. And they've remember they were playing around with putting it in conjunction with the College World Series, and that would have been great, and it would have been awesome for Omaha. But I think they figured it out. Put it around All-Star Weekend. There's a couple dead days in there, and there is now really a bigger and louder, probably more public sort of, I don't know if it's a movement, whatever, but there's a trend. Like people are really interested in development of young players, talent acquisition, and stuff like that. And as the gaps become shorter from the minor leagues through the system up into the big leagues, this will become heavier and heavier and heavier. I think there's a real interest in what teams are doing to get ahead in player development. And some of that, the bad side of that is the teams who suck at it, team down I-29 a little bit, the teams who suck at it are getting exposed more. There's they're notoriously bad at this. Everybody knows this, and they say it on TV now. So like good for Major League Baseball. I think they found the sweet spot with the draft and sort of how that works as a TV product. And I think Major League Baseball in general is prepared to, to really dive into this world of stats, player development, and all the stuff that goes into that. And a lot of that's just been secret for a long time. You've been able to get away with scouts like, yeah, I like this guy. Let's draft him 9th overall, and that's probably not so much the case anymore. It's a good thing for baseball.
I watched on ESPN because
I didn't even know it was on ESPN.
Yeah, YouTube TV doesn't have MLB Network because reasons.
Normal.
They had a Mel Kiper Jr.-esque character, and he seemed to really know his stuff.
Kylie McDaniel.
I don't remember his name. They had Jeff Passan on. They really put a lot of effort into it, and it showed where they haven't even mentioned it in years past.
Yeah.
So I think you got a good combination of the college game is elevated, a lot of stars in the college game right now, and also, quite frankly, the dead period.
Sure. It's in the absence of anything else going on.
This is something we can televise because there's nothing else to televise.
That's exactly right. And there's a whole sort of community of whether it's Twitter accounts or blogs or whatever it might be that cover the minor leagues and that cover college baseball, like the transition from, becoming a prospect to being drafted. There's entities that cover that really well now, and you can find it sort of anywhere. And that's kind of where like fantasy football was before fantasy football blew up.
That was one of the reasons I like. Why hasn't MLB put more resources into this? Why haven't the television networks? Because fantasy baseball's obviously not as big as fantasy football, but a lot of people play fantasy baseball, and this is the new crop of players for your franchise keeper league, whatever you call it.
Right. Yeah. You get, maybe you could start a league like that where you get, your draft pick and you have to hold on to him for 2 years and hope and pray that he works out. But there's now smarter money going into this because you have an idea of right when these guys are drafted. Okay. What situation are they being put into? Are they put into a major league, system that has a track record of developing players, that has a track record of developing pitchers or hitters, and can lean on that piece of it? Or is this the type, like, there's just a lot more that goes into it now. I think this is an industry that's sort of blowing up a little bit, which I think is cool. It's obviously really good for baseball, and they've turned that into making it a good TV product on MLB Draft Night, which is good. I think it does well by the sport, and it does well by the industry of what I just said, player development, prospects, things like that. All right.
Very quickly, I've done the math on
Northwestern,
Rutgers.
Oh,
it's 7.
Damn it.
Why?
How'd they do that? There's some football guys?
2 MLBers, 2 NBAers, 3 NFL players.
Really needed Max Anderson to go the first round last night. So that's right. And so that's since 2000?
Yes.
Do you have their number do you have them still up?
I do not. I can get it very, very quickly.
Do you recall them since 2011?
Oh, yeah.
I know they joined the Big Ten in 2014, but if you could just do over the same period of time, 2011, we know Nebraska's, it's 1.
Oof. Every time I hear it, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to hear
it's 1, and it happened last night.
0.
It was 0
in the NBA, in the MLB.
It was 0 like 15 hours ago.
0 in the NBA. We now turn
to
the
1 in football.
National Football League 2011.
Come on, Rutgers.
Nobody.
So they're still shut out over that same period of time.
Devin McCourty 2010.
Just missed. All right. Want to hear from you guys on that or anything else we have today. We'll dive into those numbers a little bit more, what they mean, and where Nebraska can get better in those categories. We'll come back. Mike Schaefer will join at the bottom of the hour. We'll have a quick one coming back, maybe a little home run derby talk. We had 2 major stories involving, major figures in coaching over the weekend as well. One is certainly, well, I guess they're both something to watch with Bob Huggins and Pat Fitzgerald. Wonder what the next move is for Northwestern today.
You got to say something.
Talk about it briefly as we come back, and then Schaefer will join as we return in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, Josh, and I think that was my camera just dying right there. All right. I must have touched it. It is a Woodhouse Wednesday week. This Wednesday, July 12th, get entered to win a Golf Essentials bundle, which includes golf trunk organizer. That sounds awesome for me. Golf rangefinder, magnetic golf speaker, and headphones, and $150 to Topgolf. Plus, when you win a Woodhouse Wednesday prize pack, you're automatically entered into the grand prize drawing of $2,600. That is Wednesday, July 12th. Get all the details at 1620thezone.com.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Now is the perfect time for Hello Garage to turn your dream garage into a reality. Book a Hello Garage floor coating or storage installation by Labor Day, and you'll save 50% on labor. That's right, save 50% on labor before Labor Day. At Hello Garage, we've created clean, organized spaces for thousands of happy homeowners, and we can do it for you, too. Visit HelloGarage.com today to lock in your savings. That's HelloGarage.com.
Hello, Garage.
At the Home Depot, we'll get your kitchen clicking.
with savings on top brand appliances like a new LG CounterDepth Max refrigerator with ultra-large capacity on the inside and a seamless look on the outside. Or an LG oven with built-in air fryer for crispier, healthier cooking. Plus, with convenient shopping in-store and online at the Home Depot, your innovative new appliances are just a click away, too. Final days to get special buy savings plus up to $1,000 off select kitchen appliances like this exclusive LG kitchen package at the Home Depot. Ends July 12th.
It's all too obvious. We're being distracted by meaningless news headlines. When you dig to find the truth, you discover that the American way of life is being threatened by the institutions we used to trust. It's easy to see the future holds more food shortages, systematic controls, and government overreach. But instead of throwing up their hands, folks are preparing. They're taking steps to be self-reliant and investing in emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, makes it easy to get started and join the ranks with this limited-time offer. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and get their top-selling 4-week emergency food kit. Enjoy tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get new lower pricing this week on these 4-week emergency food kits. Secure at least one food kit for each member of your family. They ship free, too. Those who know what's coming are preparing. Smart folks. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. mypatriotsupply.com.
It's your last chance to shop July 4th savings at Lowe's. Right now, save on select major appliances. And when you buy more, you save more. Get up to an additional $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Plus, right now, when you buy a Craftsman V20 string trimmer or blower for just $99, you'll get a select Bear tool free. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 7/12. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Buy more, save more. Valid on appliances $396 or more while supplies last. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
School on! Save on!
Back to school is on, and Staples has great prices on everything you need for your best year yet. Save on notebooks. Save on headphones and laptops. Save on pens, markers, and all the essentials. And right now at Staples, save up to 60% on select notebooks, markers, and more. School on, save on at Staples, where school savings are always in session. Ends 7/29. Prices may vary in-store and online.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aww. He just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Vamos a tener mucha diversión.
And that means we're going to have so much fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, so yeah, we got a situation in Northwestern now. Some further details over the weekend. Shout out to student journalism at the Daily Northwestern.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do some journalisming. And then now some subsequent follow-up reporting. It is really taken quite the turn from what we knew on Friday, which was, okay, there was an investigation into hazing at Northwestern, and the investigation has basically corroborated some of what was being alleged. There was no details in the report about what was being, what they found during the investigation. And the response to said allegations and the investigation that followed was a 2-week suspension effective immediately on Friday. Once again, middle of the summer, it's July. He probably is on vacation anyway. He just doesn't get paid to be on vacation now. Boo-hoo for Pat Fitzgerald. Now, this story has become something a little bit different. There was the article that was dropped on Saturday in Northwestern student paper, which had some just frankly very weird details about what was going on in the Northwestern locker room.
Now, I haven't read what happened, but it sounds like we cannot say what happened over the air either. A little risque.
A little risque.
Okay.
A little risque. Yes.
Okay.
What we said on Friday was like, hey, like you don't want to know what's going on in football locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It follows that.
Okay.
You don't want to know what's going on in football locker rooms. But if it's under the category of hazing, it makes it seem a whole lot worse. And then Adam Rittenberg wrote a follow-up story on ESPN, and the full thing is out as of last night, I suppose. And it's got even weirder because there were there's basically people coming out and saying, hey, look, the one player who is alleging all of these things definitely just wants to see Pat Fitzgerald fired. And I believe the quote was in jail.
Oh.
Here's a excerpt from Rittenberg's story. A current Northwestern player who asked to remain anonymous also told ESPN Sunday that the former player whose hazing allegations in late 22 launched the investigation informed him of a detailed plan with the sole objective to take down Fitzgerald. The current player on Sunday relayed a conversation he said he had early this year with the former player to Northwestern trustees and other influential university figures. Quote, he just kept emphasizing, yeah, it'll be okay. I'm just trying to get Coach Fitz fired, the player told ESPN. Quote, I don't think he ever acknowledged what he's saying is not true. It was just like, I might embellish or exaggerate to get Coach Fitz fired. He said his sole goal was to see Coach Fitz rot in jail. Quote, that the truth is that none of that stuff happened in our locker room. So now we have a situation where it's a lot of he said, she said.
She?
Well, he said,
Okay.
I suppose, not she.
Again,
said.
I haven't read the details, so
not so much she said.
Okay.
In this case, a lot of dudes involved. And Northwestern has got some questions to answer, most notably about the quote unquote investigation that they did and what was actually found in there and how vague the report was after they did the investigation. That would be my primary question. Then obviously it's all right. What's the future here for Pat Fitzgerald? I don't know if that 2-week suspension is going to be quite enough anymore. But we'll see. Maybe they have to relaunch another investigation and actually like investigate this time, or maybe they did investigate last time, but then they weren't, the findings of said investigation weren't made public. Very weird. We'll talk about this a little bit more later. But this is an odd one. And so now we all sit and we wait to see what Northwestern has to say about all of it.
And real quickly,
and so far, by the way, that's been zero things.
Not even we are aware of the story. We're looking, nothing. And Nebraska fans, you got to let the Wilbon thing go.
Yeah, you do.
You got to let it go.
You do. I saw a lot of people tweeting about that, including our next guest, Mike Schaefer.
The whataboutism is off the charts here.
Yeah. It's really okay. It was 3 years ago.
Somebody said can't hurt you anymore.
Somebody said that Nebraska should be kicked out of the league for not wanting to play football. It was a bad take. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
He doesn't like your school.
Yeah.
Get over it.
I'm over it. He's on TV. It's okay. We'll come back. Mike Schaefer will join and we'll ask about some of these things, some recruiting items and more. Mike Schaefer. Oh yeah. And we'll ask him if he would like to click on any links. Yes. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
It's Nebraska and Texas.
Correct.
You've got to show that you have an interest, got relationships, and you've made friends down there with the coaching community and the development community. The combination of the groundwork which is being done today and the winning that you hope soon follows is the thing that's going to get you into the front door of the highest rated player.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Warming up to start the week Monday. Expect sunny skies through most of the day with more clouds moving in the late afternoon. There's a chance for a few scattered showers and storms, mainly after 7 p.m. in the metro. Highs around 90. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
There's Unlimited Pro, Unlimited Obsidian, Unlimited Mini, Unlimited No Limit.
At Cox Mobile, we know other mobile companies have puzzling data plans. Shouldn't it be easier? That's why Cox Mobile has 2 simple plans. Choose between pay-as-you-gig or unlimited and change plans anytime. Finally, something that actually fits you. All while running on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability. Cox Mobile. We're different because you're different. Cox postpaid internet required 5G reliability is measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. to H 2023. Results may vary. Not endorsement. Wi-Fi not tested. Other restrictions apply. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
At Murphy Tractor, we're committed to being your first choice when it comes to your compact and construction equipment needs. Each of our 29 locations has a diverse lineup of new, used, and rental equipment, along with a wide variety of parts inventory and experienced service technicians. Our field service capabilities will keep your machines moving and keep you on time. Let Murphy Tractor's John Deere equipment be your first choice. Give us a call at 855-246-9124 or visit us online at murphytractor.com.
No matter how dark it gets, there's always a sunrise, a warm bed, a warm meal, and hope. Sienna Francis House serves hope to those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Every day, we provide more than 1,000 meals and serve nearly 500 guests in our emergency shelter, Miracles Recovery Program, and supportive housing apartments, and help our guests navigate a path to permanent housing. Learn more at siennafrancis.org.
Now is the perfect time for Hello Garage to turn your dream garage into a reality. Book a Hello Garage floor coating or storage installation by Labor Day, and you'll save 50% on labor. That's right, save 50% on labor before Labor Day. At Hello Garage, we've created clean, organized spaces for thousands of happy homeowners, and we can do it for you, too. Visit HelloGarage.com today to lock in your savings. That's HelloGarage.com.
Hello Garage.
We've all had this happen. Somebody says something about a thing, and then a couple of days later, you see an ad for that thing pop up on your news feed. Weird, right? Well, in an honest attempt at not being weird, Langfeld Overhead Doors would like you to remember them when you or your friends need a new garage door. You can trust the professionals at Langfeld Overhead Door to repair or replace your garage door. You can also trust them not to listen in on your conversations, because that's weird. Langfeld Overhead Door. 402-234-2700.
Delivery's at the door. Can someone please unlock?
It's been an eventful afternoon with a spike in bookings at Claudia's event space.
We'd love to host Mermaid Fest.
She was already planning on having more event planners on hand.
500? That's a lot of tails.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Come to Cardinals.
Yeah, I have statistics to back up that we have people that listen.
Mike Schaefer.
Anytime there's sort of a debate as to who can do something, Happer would always put his name forth, for sure.
Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I could be a star.
All right, we're joined on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline by Mike Schaefer of Husker 24/7. Hello, Schaefer. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Connor? How was your weekend?
Good. It was good. I bumped into a lot of Swifties on Saturday night and Sunday morning in Kansas City. I was not there for the concert. I just went to go eat some dinner with friends, and then they were all out on Sunday morning in the plaza wearing their oversized T-shirts.
Yeah, I feel bad that you had to experience that. Hopefully they treated you polite.
Oh, they were. They were all very nice. They had just had the best night of their lives, and they realized that not every night was going to be as magical. So they weren't berating me or anything like that. And a happy anniversary to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
2 years ago today, we had Jack Mitchell regaling everybody about his story about staying in the hotel with the furries, and everybody was very excited about it.
Yes. And then he and your wife were tearing up the dance floor late into the evening. It was a good event. A good event, I feel like, for those that attended.
It certainly was. Okay. By the way, so I don't know if you saw this, but I tweeted out, I guess it was this morning. Did you know that Bryce Matthews is the first round draft pick for Nebraska in the Big Ten era, in MLB, NFL, NBA? First one.
Wow. Okay. So let's see. The only other person that went in the first round in like the last 12 years was Prince Amukamara, and that was after the 2010 season.
That is correct.
That is so alarmingly bad. It is so bad.
I know.
Well, I mean, congrats to Bryce. That pick shocked a lot of people. I think he was targeted probably more around where Max Anderson went to Detroit in kind of that second round 45 spot. But that's great for Nebraska baseball. I mean, it kind of also one of those things where you can't not look at it and be like, how did you have these two guys and you couldn't make it to a regional?
Yep. There's that part of it too. There's actually no way to look at it and it doesn't make you sad. I mean, it's great for Bryce Matthews. Even during the announcement, and you tweeted this out last night, the Rob Manfred getting booed relentlessly.
Oh, wonderful.
It was absolutely fantastic. So I went back since 2000 in the Major League Baseball draft, the NFL draft, and the NBA draft. Nebraska's had 6 first-round draft picks when you include Bryce Matthews last night. 6. So Fabian Washington, Alex Gordon, Adam Carricker, Sue, Prince, and then Bryce Matthews last night. During that time period, let's just compare them. Ohio State. Do you want to guess what their number is over since 2000? Only first-round draft picks in those 3 drafts.
All right. I want to say it's probably going to be like a 30 number.
It is 52.
Okay. Me thinking 30 seems a little high, and you coming back 22 over the top of that. All right.
Yep. It's 52. Michigan
how many baseball players were selected in the first round for Ohio State?
Since 2002. Two.
Okay.
2 baseball players.
That sounds about right. There's probably more basketball players than people would realize, too.
10 basketball players and 40 football players. 40 first-round draft picks in football over the 22-year span.
Yeah, when it gets put like this, it's easier to understand why Ohio State is where Ohio State is and Nebraska is where Nebraska is.
Michigan is 33 over that period of time in the 3 sports. They've had a little bit more basketball, 13 basketball players. And then I pulled Michigan State, and they're sort of an interesting one because they're sort of a basketball blue blood, but they've also had 7 first-round draft picks in football in that time, and then 11 men's basketball draft picks, so 18 over that period of time for a school like Michigan State. We were pulling like Maryland. I think Maryland eclipsed Nebraska in their number. Northwestern was the only one I think we found so far. We haven't looked into it completely. Northwestern was the only one that's come in under Nebraska, and they had, I think, 5 first-round draft picks in football since 2000, and that's their total number.
Yeah, I would assume Illinois would pass up Nebraska as well. I don't know about Minnesota. I don't think the Gophers have had a lot of first-round picks. And then additionally, I don't know how many basketball players they would have had that have done first-round picks. They've had a couple baseball guys.
Yeah.
But Minnesota would be a school I'd wonder on.
Yeah, I'll do the full thing tonight, and I'll tweet about the numbers or something.
Oh, are you going to get between the sheets?
Yeah, I think so. It's gonna warrant a spreadsheet because look, it's the week where nothing's going on unless you're super interested in the MLB All-Star Game, and so we can take it wherever we want to take it.
Are you super interested in the MLB All-Star Game?
I wouldn't say super interested in the MLB All-Star Game, although I'd prefer it if they wore their regular jerseys like the good old days.
So you get like 9 different jerseys out there. looking out at the field.
Yes, it's better that way.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm totally fine with that. I was just curious if you'll even watch on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I'll watch. It's a tradition for me. I'll watch.
Yeah.
There's only while we're on numbers, I believe there's only 6 American League Central players that are participating in this game.
That seems high.
Well, no, I guess Class A got he got replaced, right? So there maybe only.
Oh, did he get replaced?
Yeah, I think I saw something. They were putting in replacement players. I don't know whether he was just not pitching or he's hurt or something like that, or he couldn't pitch because of rest. So yeah, there might only be 5 now. So that's very good for the AL Central.
So each team has their one representative. That's it.
I believe that is correct. Yes.
Impressive stuff from our AL.
Yeah, we get some really impressive numbers coming through today. I mean, yeah. That's what I'm going for.
High end of the sport is what we're discussing, clearly.
You know, and I don't need Nebraska to have the same amount of first round draft picks as Ohio State. But I mean, when you think about, I think the number that got me the most was 1. I mean, it's Bryce Matthews became the first round draft pick in any of those sports in the Big Ten era last night. Nebraska now feels like it's been in the Big Ten forever. It's just sort of staggering. Like I don't like Nebraska could be better at retaining coaches and developing players and like all of that stuff. I don't think you could point to one reason, but it understates the idea. Look, it's been a long time since Nebraska's operated sort of in that area of the sport.
Yeah, it definitely underscores for sure that Nebraska just has not had as much talent coming through the boat. I mean, if you go look at the decade of the 90s relative with those 3 sports, it just like that alone would just massively eclipse the 20-year stretch that you're talking about there. Like it is sort of just like you said, it underscores just how devoid of top end talent they've been across all 3 sports.
Yeah, I mean that's I thought it was going to be like a topic where I was like, oh yeah, we'll be able to talk about that for 20 minutes, but no, that's pretty much it. It's like they've just been bad, and that's pretty much the story. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, Shafe, let's move on. By the way, we are in sort of a dead period, I guess, in recruiting as it speaks, or as we speak, and we got off of a very, very not dead period in June. As we've had a chance to now step back a little bit and take some stock of where Nebraska's at, whether it's in their class or overall, what are the first few things that come to your head about either where they're at right now or where they're at in general? We talked a lot about them sort of getting caught up. Did a big June sort of do a lot for them in terms of where they're at from a timing perspective as you look forward in recruiting?
Yeah, it definitely allows them to put a lot of emphasis on 25s and 26s when it comes to in-season recruiting. With the 23 commits that they have now, there's probably only a handful left that they're really looking at, the 24 class. So that definitely makes things easier, for them as they move forward. I think the thing that really sort of stands out to me right now is that they could end up, 25, 26, 27 before the first game. Like if they could have essentially their whole class done before the first game is played. That's not how it's going to happen because there will be probably some senior film guys. There's going to be, an opportunity to maybe flip a player or two and then transfers. But to have like 95% of your class done before you even go play at Minnesota is just remarkable to me. And there's still some pretty big targets out there on top of all of it too. So it's not just like, oh, they've got their 23 and there's really nobody notable left. No, I mean, guys like Grant Bricks and Preston Talmua, those 2 guys are top 247 offensive linemen. If Nebraska were to walk away with either or both of those commitments, that would be pretty big. Locally, you still have Caleb Benning that hasn't made a decision yet. Amari Sanders is defensive back that Nebraska really likes. There's a linebacker from Germany, Justin Forno, I think is how the last name is pronounced. Decommitted from Maryland is looking heavily at Nebraska. There's an edge rusher in Kansas City that would be a big pickup for him. Like it's just, there's no shortage of things that are still happening, even though they have these 23 commits. I think that's kind of the wild part.
Are you surprised that they've been able to sort of catch up this quickly? Because now this gives them an advantage to sort of get out in front of things on the incoming classes for 25 and 6 and beyond.
I am surprised. I probably shouldn't be, because I was also the guy back in December talking about how Matt Rule has made it kind of a thing where he gets commitments and flurries. Well, that's exactly what he did in June. And they did the part of it where they had the guys in for their camp offers, and they offered some people that I would have thought, you take later in the cycle. Well, they did it earlier because obviously they evaluated them. They feel strongly about them, and they just wanted to be able to move on. So they clearly have expedited how they want to attack things in recruiting. And it's just different than what we've seen in the past. And so I think a lot of it for me is just having to shift to a different mindset. And a lot more aggressive mindset on top of it.
Yeah, and I don't know, this sort of, as they're getting commits in June, I don't know if rushed would be the right word. I don't know if it seemed that way, but they're definitely, we've talked about this before, Schaefer, like they definitely put some pressure, at least a little bit more pressure on, like, hey, we're going to fill this thing up and the spot is going to be gone. It just gave off the sense of like, all right, we gotta start developing relationships for classes down the road. I just think there's a plan there. And it sort of, if people were curious and wondering, all right, what are they going to be able to do in recruiting, and what does a Matt Rule class look like? I think the sky's the limit for them in recruiting. Like, they've taken the platform, and like, you can't take Temple and Baylor and what they're doing there. They are going to have developmental guys, but I think they're going to recruit some high level dudes in upcoming classes would be my guess. Some of it comes down to who you know and relationships and all that stuff. But I think this staff, just sort of drove that point home. Like, they're going to be able to really recruit.
Well, and think of it this way: if they start winning games, they're going to have a lot more success in Texas, because you're going to have that pipeline of kids coming up here that are starting to play and play well. I've talked about this, with other people, the idea of who they're competing against for some of those Texas recruits, like TCU, Texas Tech, Baylor. We all think of that as kind of the second level of Texas. Well, guess what? Those teams have all had really big seasons. And if Nebraska can continue to sort of combat those guys and pull kids out of Texas that those other schools want, then that kind of tells you like the level that they can sort of recruit at there. I think it's going to be hard to get to the point where if the University of Texas and Nebraska both want a kid out of Texas, like that's going to be a tough recruiting battle. But I just think that they've really shown that aggressiveness. I think it's set up well for them for future seasons. I know a big emphasis going into the spring for the evaluation, if you get a chance to, go to a school that has a 25 or a 26, really kind of hit home that you're going to be back, that you're going to be in contact with them, that you're, because they want to move this thing forward. They have those two guys committed out of Omaha, and Tyson Terry and Caden Vermoff. But I think they definitely want to keep adding to that 2025 class, because if they can build a good nucleus and then you sort of go into the next March, then you're kind of talking about the junior days and those practice visits. And, we got a taste of what they could do with that big visit weekend at the end of March, and it didn't necessarily pan out into a lot of commitments. If you have that kind of base level already built up, and you're coming off of a year in which maybe you've exceeded expectations on the field, they're going to be able to whip that into a frenzy, I think, pretty quickly. I just feel like Tony White told me this when I interviewed him in March. He said Matt Rule is the closest he's had to having a head coach that thinks like a recruiting coordinator. So this is one of the first times where I can recall you've got a head coach that really puts a lot of thought into how they're going to do this with recruiting. I think that generally has been left to other people in the past.
Yeah. And
here you've got a guy that, is really going to push, I think, and go full throttle.
Yeah, and he likes it too.
That's huge. I mean, that's not everybody likes that aspect of it, but he clearly does. And he's clearly connecting with people when they're coming to campus.
Yeah. You can feel that. And the recruits tell you about it as well. All right, Shay, if you want to click on some links.
I was wondering if we were going to do some link clicking here in July.
Yeah, we got an interesting sort of collection here. But we'll start with this. Harry Styles hit in the eye by flying object during concert in Vienna.
I will not be clicking, but that sounds like that would suck.
Yeah, apparently there's this huge rash now of people throwing stuff at performers during concerts, and it's
don't do that, people.
Yeah, that's not good. Apparently, Pink or no, one of the singers that I was reading about in here. Oh yeah, it was Baby Rexha. Have you heard of Baby Rexha?
You know I haven't.
Okay, so Baby Rexha was hit in the eye with a cell phone, and she got a huge black eye during one of her shows.
What?
I don't know.
I don't
know.
In society.
Yeah. So I think Harry Styles is okay, and I don't think it was a cell phone. No click. Usher seductively serenades Saweetie after Keke Palmer fiasco.
There's two names that I don't know in there, and then Usher.
Yes, Saweetie and Keke Palmer.
Yeah, so this will be a non-click for me.
Yeah,
but it sounds like quite the story.
I don't know what the fiasco was with Keke Palmer, but that one's at least intrigued me a little bit. We're passing. JFK's grandson rants about restaurants. Quote, "You have to read to get your food?"
Okay, can you read that again? JFK's grandson rants about what?
Restaurants.
Okay, I mean, I got to be honest. I don't know what's happening here, and I'm going to click to find out more.
Okay, yeah. So that's basically what I did too. I ended up watching his whole. It was a very weird rant. I think he's just out on restaurants. The whole thing kind of sounded like a stand-up comedy bit. It sounded like he was doing a like, hey, have we ever thought about this? How you just go to restaurants and they serve you food? That's kind of how it came off. It was very weird. And apparently this is a guy who has a platform because he is JFK's grandson.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of calls into question why we care about JFK's grandson.
It's a great question. He has it's a very weird rant that he put on Instagram, and I guess it's been making the rounds. It was on a Page 6 article that I found. He seems very confused about the idea of restaurants, and I don't really know what he's going for.
How old is this guy?
I don't know. He seems probably like, mid-30s, something like that. And probably around my age.
It's weird because he would have a domestic staff, right?
He's trying to revolutionize things by having restaurants only have pictures of their menu items.
I'm not sure what he's attempting to do with this, but you got the click, so now you can find out more information. You at least know that this story exists. Here's what you missed. Haley Steinfeld, Josh Allen can't keep their hands off each other during steamy Mexican vacation.
Oh, weird. I didn't know that they were a couple.
That's right. Yeah. Many Josh Allen fantasy football owners are very concerned about his upcoming season.
Definitely have to take that into account.
And finally, Drake got high right before Degrassi audition following peer pressure.
I feel like I picked the right story here.
You did. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't a great batch, but you did pick the right story.
Yeah, good deal. Well, I appreciate it. I'm happy to be back clicking links and learning about things like Keke Palmer and whatever. Is it
Saweetie?
Saweetie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Apparently,
there's no little or young in front of it. It's
no.
Just Saweetie.
Saweetie and
baby.
Apparently, Saweetie had. Is it a he or a she? Josh, do we know? Is Saweetie a woman?
I believe Saweetie is a woman.
Okay. Yeah, she had her own meal at McDonald's for a period of time.
She did. That's how I learned who she was.
Yes, much like Grimace and the Grimace Shake.
If you had your own meal at McDonald's, what would it be?
It would be 2 McChickens, I would like to make it like a 6-piece nugget and then like a large fry and a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty normal meal.
I'd eat the Connor Happer meal.
Yeah, I think everybody should. McChickens are awesome. But now they cost like $2.50 a piece. They used to be $1.
Yeah.
It makes me very sad.
They did used to be $1. I remember those days.
I did go last week and I had the Grimace Shake and it was weird.
Full report. It was weird.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. Thank you, Schaefer. Happy anniversary. Goodbye.
All right. Have a good one, man. Thanks.
That's Mike Schaefer of Husker 24/7.
Saweetie is the niece of MC Hammer.
Oh. Yeah, I never really figured that out. I knew she had her own meal at McDonald's. I was like, I never cared to look into what was going on.
She had a meal at McDonald's before Grimace, who has worked there for like a quarter of a century.
But Grimace is also, Grimace is kind of a menace to society as well. I like
maybe Saweetie is too.
I think Grimace, like they like Grimace, they employ Grimace, but it's like, yeah, he's our idiot.
I like that.
Matt wonders on the Connor Happer meal. Is it where you have to eat 10 chicken nuggets in a minute? No, that's not part of the Connor Happer meal, which is good for everybody. We'll come back. Josh has the odd news.
I do.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Ever walk through a door and see all the trucks? Yeah, it's kind of like that at Gretna Auto Outlet. Half-ton trucks, three-quarter-ton trucks, dualies, gas or diesel. Gretna Auto Outlet will be happy to show it to you. They don't call it truck heaven for nothing, Stop in the climate-controlled comfort of the indoor showroom or online with the virtual showroom at GretnaAuto.com. Gretna Auto Outlet, open Sundays too, just north of Nebraska Crossing on Highway 6 in Gretna.
If you're tired of trading one dead-end job for another, trade your job for a career. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers has positions open right now. As an IBEW electrician, you'll get training, higher pay, paid healthcare, and retirement. Build a better life for you and your family. Make it happen. Call 402-810-0789 right now. That's 402-810-0789 or get details at IBEW22.org.
Let me get you up to speed on the service that you need.
Brian recently had us tow his all-wheel drive Mercedes from another shop. He was told it needed a new transmission for over $4,000. As it turned out, the reason he had no Ford was because his front CV axle was bad. We replaced the axle for a few $100 and he was back on the road.
Transmission, shifting to running smooth.
Join us on July 22nd from 4 to 11 at the Ralston Granary event for one of the greatest team-ups of all time, beer and barbecue. Lagerfest 2023 brings more than 20 Omaha area breweries serving their most crushable craft lagers in partnership with the Ribstock Barbecue Festival. Omaha's premier barbecue event combined with delicious local brews. You can't beat it. Don't miss Ribstock and Lagerfest's family-friendly event July 22nd from 4 to 11 at the Ralston Granary Event Center. Visit ribstockbarbecue.com.
Paid for by Maxiderm Labs. Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your performance in the bedroom? If you're a 5, take it to 10. If you're a 10, why not take it up to 15? With Maxiderm Power Surge. Maxiderm's new Power Surge Red Pill makes you more potent than you or your partner ever imagined. It's like going from a sedan to a supercharged high-performance sports car. And it works fast. Just minutes. And now you can try it free. Just call 1-800-418-4697. If you thought being a 10 was great in the bedroom, just imagine what a 20 must be like. Experience off-the-scale virility with Maxiderm's new Red Pill Power Surge. You'll never want to go back to being just a 10. Call 1-800-418-4697 now to experience male enhancement supercharged. 1-800-418-4697 for your free trial and ask about our VIP club rewards. Hurry, this offer is limited. Call 1-800-418-4697. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Let us talk about the 3 most surprising things about modern LASIK at Kugler Vision. The first, how fast that LASIK procedure is. With Kugler Vision's leading-edge technology, we're talking just a few minutes per eye. Incredibly speedy. And how about this for number 2? How comfortable the procedure is. So often from their patients, they hear, wait, that's it? It's over? They make sure that you're relaxed and comfortable, as well as knowing exactly what is happening. And this for number 3, how quickly you can get back to normal life. patients typically drive themselves to Kugler Vision the very next day for their follow-up visit. So you're back in action less than 24 hours later. Kugler Vision right now, they have special pre-summer savings on modern LASIK or any of their other advanced vision correction procedures. If you've ever thought about fixing your bad vision, the Kugler Vision Eye Analysis is your first step. Do so today. Schedule one online at KuglerVision.com.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, time for the odd news. So many odd things. We're past the 4th of July weekend now. But don't worry, people never stop being odd.
Oh, that's true.
What's up, Josh?
We begin across the pond, if you will.
Oh, yes.
A little place called London.
They're all odd over there.
Oh, yeah.
Weirdos throwing stuff at Harry Styles.
Oh, yeah. Stop throwing stuff.
Stop throwing stuff.
Also, GMA, stop acting like Harry Styles got gunned down at his concert last night.
Oh.
There was nothing happening in the world this morning because, oh, man.
Are we all on vacation right now?
Sure seems that way.
Well, I'm not.
Nope.
I'm right here, baby.
Working a full week for you. Tens of thousands of champagne bottles are opened during Wimbledon every year. But yesterday, one chair umpire politely asked patrons to keep them corked until the players had served. As action got underway between, there's tennis names in here, Anastasia Potapova and Mira Andreeva got underway on court 3. One fan decided to mark Middle Sunday by uncorking a bottle of champagne that burst the bubble in the third round contest between the two Russians. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you are opening a bottle of champagne, don't do it as the players are about to serve, the umpire said over the microphone. As Potapova was about to serve, stopped to listen to the announcement before nodding her head in approval with a smile amid scattered applause.
Okay.
In 2019, a similar announcement was made by an umpire when a champagne cork flew onto the court during a match.
What are we doing? What is this?
Why is there so much champagne going on during this event?
I'm curious. And this is it's probably just a tradition that I don't know about because I don't know anything about Wimbledon except for everybody wears all white.
Yes, got to wear white.
I don't know what's going on, but this is a huge problem. Why can't we just stop them from bringing champagne into the facility?
Yeah.
Could we
head it off at the pass?
Could we put in a no champagne policy?
Also, if you're on court 3 in the middle of the tournament, is that really an occasion that warrants champagne?
Great question. No, I don't think so. I've also heard of neither of those people. I'm sure they're great at tennis.
Final match, you want to uncork one. Opening day, you want to uncork one. That's fine. I get that.
You know where they wouldn't care if you pop champagne or not? The pickleball world championships. They're probably popping champagne corks all over the place. People were getting hit in the head with them. There's no rules there. I don't know the tradition here, but maybe, I don't know. Is it really, does it really have to be like golf where you can't make noise in the background? I guess one stray champagne cork is sort of distracting.
Yeah, definitely. If you're trying to do a job and someone came in here and popped champagne, what would you say?
Do you think they need like a live golf of tennis?
Ooh,
like
what would that look like?
Like fun tennis?
Joker would definitely be on the live.
Yes,
circuit.
he would. Yes, he would. He would love that, especially if it was bought by the Saudis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. I wonder what that would look like. What would fun tennis be like?
Poll question at Happer Show. Does court 3 on the middle Sunday at Wimbledon warrant champagne?
Okay. That's up at Happer Show. Next.
The Snail Racing World Championships took place over the weekend. And Connor, this is another one of those events where just really glad to be back on their feet after COVID.
It's good.
As this is the first in-person event for the Snail Racing Championships since the COVID-19 pandemic.
Had to protect the snails.
Yeah. Hopefully
not the demon snail.
It was awarded the Guinness World Record for longest running humane snail racing world championship.
There's inhumane ones?
That's the question, Connor.
Okay.
There is a live golf of snail racing.
That's cool.
Apparently. The event was founded by Tom Ilves in the 1960s after he attended a snail racing event in France. This particular event takes place in England.
So this is the only place in the world where you would actually see a snail. I've never seen a snail anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The race features snails attempting to cover a distance of 13 inches. The world record of 22 seconds was set by a snail named Archie in 1995.
Oh, wait. So we could actually do the math on the whole demon snail thing. 13 inches in 22 seconds.
That's the world record, yes.
That is the fastest snail alive.
Mm-hmm.
The fastest snail that we could find anyway. So if we gave the demon snail that exact speed, it would take him how long to cross the country? Spoiler alert, a long time.
There are
It would never catch you. And even if you saw it and it was 13 inches away from you, it would still take it 22 seconds to get to you. You could run. You could react.
There are 63,360 inches in a mile. If you're trying to figure out, like, hey, miles per hour, how fast is that?
Yeah, this is a ridiculous argument by the whole the snail thing.
And I know there's a bunch of you listening or watching on YouTube going, what's in it for the snails, Josh? Well, the top prize is a tankard of lettuce. What is a tankard? I don't know.
Ooh.
A lot of lettuce to the winner.
Oh, geez.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah. And finally, we come back stateside. We go to Vegas as more fallout from the Britney Spears, Victor Wembanyama kerfuffle is emerging. Obviously, the two ran into each other. I believe it was Thursday night. And allegedly, Britney Spears said allegedly someone from Victor's camp, as she tried to say hello, struck her in the face. Well, turns out it was her own hand that hit her in the face.
Interesting.
No charges will be filed.
Interesting. Interesting.
So somebody's declaration of hashtag Team Wemby on Friday looks brilliant.
So the crazy lady,
allegedly,
she thought that somebody hit her, and in fact, it was herself that hit her.
That is correct.
Got it.
Okay.
Just wanted to go ahead and confirm all that.
But the real loser in all of this seems to be Pauly Shore.
Oh, wow. Unexpected.
Yes, very. That's why I'm reading it. See, at the restaurant they were at is a restaurant called Catch in Las Vegas. And because of all this madness and no one knew what was going on, Pauly Shore lost his table at Catch.
What?
Folks who were dining at Catch at the same time as Britney, Wemby, and Pauly tell TMZ after the slapping incident, Britney went to dinner inside the restaurant and her party was seated at the table that Pauly Shore was using. Turns out Pauly had just gotten seated. He got up to use the restroom, and when he came back, Britney and her group were at his table where he had left his phone, glasses, and fanny pack. Britney's security, were told, initially stopped Pauly from getting back to the table, but they eventually figured it out and let him through. Britney's manager gave Pauly his belongings, and then Pauly was sat at a different table.
Wow. You never know what you're going to see in Vegas.
You don't. It wasn't the oddest story in the world, but it is an excuse to get Pauly Shore's name said over the air. You don't hear that every day.
Okay, so where is Catch?
I don't know.
I know where Catch is. I haven't dined at Catch.
Okay.
But it is in the Aria, which I believe, according to a couple of Vegas accounts that I followed this weekend, had a very significant elevator problem.
Oh no.
Yes. People were getting stuck in the elevators at Aria all weekend.
Where is this in relation to that Sphere that I'm already tired?
It's down the road a while.
I'm tired of seeing that damn Sphere
I like
already.
the Sphere. The Sphere is awesome.
It's great. but I'm tired of seeing it already.
Take the tram. If you go to Vegas, take the tram. You'll go right by the Sphere.
Oh, I can book a table at Catch. Oh, view the menu. Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, it's way too expensive.
A lot of sushi.
We opted to not go to Catch.
A lot of sushi. Okay.
At the Aria.
Catch, like a seafood catch. Okay.
Exactly.
I get it now.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the odd news as we watch what looks like the 2001 All-Star game.
Oh, look at that skinny Albert Pujols.
Look at that. That's probably what, like, rookie Albert Pujols. Yes, that's rookie Albert Pujols, who is an All-Star.
21 homers, 66 RBI at the break.
Remember, he was playing a really good third base too around that time.
Wow.
Remember the young athlete Albert Pujols? He was stealing bases. He was diving all over the infield playing third base. And then something changed. It happened.
What's that?
I don't know. It's just he became a first baseman and slow. Not sure why.
Hey, spoiler alert, no one else is going to score in this game.
Also, Jeff Nelson is pitching, and that is about as 2001 as it gets. Jeff Nelson is pitching to Jorge Posada. Cliff Floyd just struck out. They did a big feature on Bobby Valentine.
Yeah.
And this is Cal Ripken's last All-Star game where A-Rod shoved them over to shortstop.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's all coming back to me.
All-Star games were great once upon a time.
It was played in Seattle, where this week's game will be played.
That's right. We have some breaking news that we'll get
do you need
to.
the sounder?
When we come back.
Okay.
Well, actually, we'll give this to you going into the break because I want to talk about Northwestern some more coming back.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Give me the news. Xavier Babudar, also known as alias Chief Sahalik, was arrested on Friday.
Oh, they got him.
And has been charged in federal court thanks to an FBI Kansas City investigation. Babudar has been charged with bank theft and transporting stolen property across state lines. He was arrested on Friday in California thanks to several of the police agencies in California, and they did an investigation conducted in partnership with the FBI Oklahoma City, FBI Minneapolis, FBI Omaha, and FBI Memphis.
FBI Omaha?
Yes, the FBI Omaha was partly responsible for taking down Chief Sahalik.
Wow.
But he has now been apprehended.
So
ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We'll come back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Oh, the weather outside is spiteful, but the deals at 42 degrees are delightful. It's the Christmas in July sale going on now. Get our premium Kratom for as low as $9.99. Santa's bag is bursting with disposables starting at $12.99. Be everyone's favorite Secret Santa with a glass, silicone, wood, or metal pipe from $11.99. With the most knowledgeable, friendly staff just south of the North Pole, keep calm and jingle on with the Christmas in July sale by your mom's house.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's hot outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink icy cold, Nebraska-brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click Nebraska.beer to learn more.
Nick Handley here. You know, we are really lucky to have DJ's Dugout here in Omaha. For 30 years, DJ's has always been Omaha's own casual and comfortable iconic sports bar. There's no better place to watch sports and gather with family and friends. Huge media walls, great food and drinks, whatever the season, football, volleyball, basketball, watch the game at DJ's, and DJ's handles large groups too. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
PACE, Police Athletics for Community Engagement Organization, is dedicated to preventing at-risk and disadvantaged inner-city children from becoming involved in street gangs, crime, drug use, and victimization. Last year, PACE served over 5,000 area kids with wholesome competition and free participation in soccer, baseball, CrossFit, and flag football. To help PACE and local families make sure kids have access to safe and fun spring and summer activities, please go to paceomaha.org to support the PACE mission. Thank you.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's Half Off Deal is $50 worth of vouchers to Le Voltaire French Restaurant for only $25. Le Voltaire Pepperwood Village is a locally owned, unpretentious French restaurant serving down-home cooking with an extensive wine list and great handcrafted cocktails for decades. Whether dining with friends, clients, or that special someone, Le Voltaire will make you feel right at home.
Zone Deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Delivery's at the door. Can someone please unlock?
It's been an eventful afternoon with a spike in bookings at Claudia's event space.
We'd love to host Mermaid Fest.
She was already planning on having more event planners on hand.
500? That's a lot of tails.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, good news. Troy Gloss just popped out in the bottom of the seventh to Lance Berkman in center field. This is guys naming dudes all over again. All we have to do is just watch old All-Star games.
I can't tell who anyone is because it's so low def.
You have to guess.
There's no pixels.
Yeah, you just have to guess. July 2001.
Roger Clemens threw 2 shutout innings.
The only National League RBI came on a Ryan Klesko sacrifice fly in the 6th. This is awesome. Oh, who's this? Is this Posada?
Yeah. I saw him hit a home run at Kauffman Stadium.
Oh, man. As many Yankees did during that period of time. All right. So you said there's no more scoring in this game?
Yes, this is the final score.
Sad.
As it stands right now.
Posada just doubled over the head of Lance Berkman. Just on Chiefsaholic. So Chiefsaholic was apparently going across the country, robbing banks, and he was trying to launder his money through various casinos throughout the Midwest, and apparently was doing so successfully until they just caught him in California. And it took all these FBI agencies to finally catch up with Chiefsaholic several months after he was indicted. Like, he was indicted in December. Took a long time to catch up to a guy named Chiefsaholic.
Yeah.
Who's got this, huge social media presence as well.
Figured you could have got him.
Well, they did. It just took them a while. Shout out to the Omaha FBI for having a hand in this investigation, apparently. At least that's what the Kansas City FBI has told us. You think he'll be there for the home opener?
He's going to try. He's going to try.
He's going to say, Chiefs Nation needs me. I need to be there for the
I got to be there for the banner.
So here is what we were talking about, the investigation over at Northwestern, and how, once again, the investigation corroborated some of the original allegations. The investigation basically said, yes, there was hazing. Here's what it said when they hired this expensive law firm, Arndt Fox Schiff, and lead investigator Maggie Hickey. It found after months of interviews that the hazing crimes were, quote, largely supported by the evidence, but couldn't point to misconduct by a specific player or coach. According to the summary, here's what it says. Quote, while the investigation did not uncover evidence pointing to specific misconduct by any individual football player or coach, participation in or knowledge of the hazing activities was widespread across football players, the summary read. So once again, the investigation by the very expensive law firm concluded
some stuff happened.
There was some things that happened
by some dudes.
Many people knew about it, but we can't tell you who specifically did or didn't know about it. Huh. That's weird. That is really weird, Josh. Like, this is
some mystery.
Yeah. We're like, so Chris Vanini wrote a pretty good sort of recap of all the events that have happened basically over the last week in this Northwestern football case. And it basically comes back to what the hell happened in this investigation by this third party expensive law firm. And
what do we pay you guys for?
And how is the result of that a 2-week suspension that was announced on a Friday morning, 4th of July week? You know, everybody's it's a weekend. We're going into the weekend, and let's announce a suspension, and it's going to be a 2-week suspension, not paid, starting right now in the deadest of dead periods in college football. And they thought, all right, we'll wipe our hands of this. This is over. There's some real questions about the investigation. Obviously, the coach's knowledge of it. As I've gone through, you know, whether it was the stuff that was written in the Daily Northwestern, the student newspaper, some subsequent stuff by Adam Rittenberg, who I believe has talked to a few players. It seems very, very difficult to imagine a world where Pat Fitzgerald either A, didn't know about it, or B, at least didn't like foster a culture where this is possible, right? So like that gets you in trouble a little bit right off the bat. I mean, but I think the general consensus is, yeah, this feels like it goes to the top, at least in some way. There is some unclear details about, there's some question about motivations of various people who are figures in this process.
Whoa! Are you suggesting that there's a lot of money within the Northwestern University system, and it might behoove them to not have these things revealed?
Well,
wow,
yeah,
wow,
yeah, yeah. So the university or the law firm or whatever, they need to provide some transparency here, and they need to do it in a very, very quick manner, because this is getting a little bit out of control. Once again, as I said before, I don't know that the 2-week suspension is necessarily going to hold up and provide exactly what you needed to before this story is sort of blown up beyond that now. Certainly beyond what I thought it was going to be on Friday, which we sort of read off. It's like, yep, all right, 2-week suspension during the summer. That was without reading the report. That was just from the news articles that we had sort of gotten and the responses to the report. But now it's like, all right, let's actually talk to them. Let's see what's going on here. And it's hard to understand exactly what it all means. Pat Fitzgerald's been in Northwestern a long time. And when you're at a place for that long, it's hard to not imagine a world where he's not aware of some of the things that are being alleged here, and especially as publicly as they're being alleged to have happened. Like, I mean, sliding across the shower naked with the bands, like using them as slingshots.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which sounds, aside from the naked part, it sounds just weird. It's kind of weird in general.
I mean,
some would say if you're not naked, it's actually kind of fun.
Soap a guy up, sling him across the shower stalls. Yeah.
This is all very weird.
I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it.
It's all very odd. So we got to get to the bottom of what actually happened and why the investigation sort of, kind of admitted, like, yeah, these are things that probably took place and a lot of people probably knew about, but we can't. It's too much to say it's this one guy's fault. Look, man, when you're the head coach, when you're the athletic director, when you're the president of the school, you take responsibility for all of this stuff. That's part of the deal. And whether he perpetuated it or not, it's probably going to be up for debate. But in the eyes of, hey, look, man, it happened underneath the watch of your football program, and this is very odd. Like, ultimately, you're going to have to pay some price for it. I don't know if it'll be his job. I don't know.
Could I add an interesting wrinkle to this whole thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Josh. Fire away.
I believe Pat Fitzgerald is contractually obligated to be in front of a microphone in 16 days at 11:45 a.m. at Big Ten Media Days.
Oh, that is coming soon, Josh.
It is.
You're right. Will he give an opening statement?
He better.
Will he be there?
He better.
Yeah. There will be Northwestern players there as well.
Do you extend his suspension so that he can't?
Yeah.
As cover?
The president's going to have to do something.
Yeah.
So the president, as sort of go through the timeline of things. The president, Michael Schill, I believe is his name. Funny name. Says he erred when weighing punishment on Fitzgerald and will take another look at things only because of the public backlash after the Daily Northwestern's reporting. He said he spoke to the family of the player and was moved by what he heard. I'm not sure why learning some of this is from Vanini now. I'm not sure why learning the name of the athlete should change your reaction to those hazing allegations. So yeah, this is like across the board now. Everything's sort of under fire. Northwestern's got to have some sort of like response to this. It's very, very soon. Because you're right, Josh. We are getting up very close on Big Ten Media Days now.
Some would say it's odd that it's 12:30 on a Monday and they haven't released a statement of any kind.
To know a little bit more here. Text from the 308.
Hi, 308.
It's from Carney. Was there a Golden Tee machine recently installed at Northwestern? Could explain how Pat didn't know what was going on. I believe.
I mean, it'll suck you in. You just got to get that high score, and then that's a bar you try and top each and every day.
Chris Montana writes in, he says, it's probably been a tradition since back when Pat played for Northwestern. A few of those hazing traditions obviously are still around and probably have no place in today's society. But then on the other side...
That seems logical, though.
It does. But then on the other side, you have this, like, you have the motivations of a player who is speaking out, and he's basically said, yeah, I wanted to see Pat Fitzgerald get fired. We got to get to the bottom of like what actually happened here, and then we can make the decision on what's good and what's bad. Like, all we got from the investigator was like, yeah, okay, a lot of this stuff happened, but we can't really point at anybody. Coach is suspended for 2 weeks. Yeah, how about you give us the exact, explicit details of, all right, what went on here, and then we could either the school, public perception, whatever it is, can make the decision. It's like, yeah, this is no good. This doesn't have a place in today's society. There's stuff that you do in football locker rooms, and there's accountability things that take place, and there's also things that you might have been able to do in 1997 or 1992, and those same things you probably wouldn't fly in 2023. I understand all of that stuff. But now this has turned into a big he said thing. It's very, very odd. By the way, just saw a tweet from Joey McGuire. Joey McGuire, the father of Garrett McGuire.
Yeah.
Garrett McGuire. Garrett McGuire is
Mr. McGuire. We call him nothing else.
Yes. Joey is in Nebraska visiting his son.
Oh,
took a picture in the field at Memorial Stadium.
Beautiful.
Like father, like son.
Hey, Dad.
Don't you love it? All right. We'll come back. If anything happens on the Northwestern thing, we'll keep you updated as much as we can. Sam McEwen, who will not join the show today, did write something about Nebraska not making it easy on themselves against Group of 5 opponents over the years. He went down memory lane of basically what the coaches and what maybe in some cases it was administrators said after Nebraska lost in these embarrassing ways over the years. I thought it was a great trip down memory lane. He made a bigger point in there. We'll talk about that too. But we'll go down memory lane a little bit with some of those things and a little bit more as we continue on with the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on the crossover.
How much did you guys talk about this on the broadcast? Turn it over to Mike Barron for his keys and some submersible takes.
Not mention the keys to the submersible.
Did you learn anything, Kevin, about submersibles in the last 3 days?
We did not talk about it once.
He's under more pressure than...
No. Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Hotter, breezy, and humid for your Monday afternoon. Sunshine early, but clouds increase late this afternoon and into this evening. High today of 91, but feeling like the mid-90s. Gusts possible out of the south-southwest up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. A chance of storms mainly after 6 to 7 p.m., a few of which may become severe with damaging winds and large hail possible. Expect clouds to clear after storms move out, mainly after 10 to 11 p.m., becoming partly cloudy to mostly clear. A low near 67. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees. The Source. By your mom's house.
If you think you're having transmission problems, you need a specialist, someone who can and will tell you exactly what's wrong. At Omaha Transmission, that's what we do. Some places just want to sell you a new transmission, but at Omaha Transmission, we make repairs that other shops can't or won't. Giving you options is what's kept us in business since 2005. We've even had people hear our ads, bring in their car, and experience the exact same scenario they heard. There is a place that will diagnose and fix your transmission. That place is Omaha Transmission.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. It is July, which means the countdown is on for the 6th annual 4-person Golf Flash Scramble. Go to their website today, miraclehillgolf.com/store, and get signed up. You do not want to miss it. Coming up Friday, August the 4th, it'll be a one-beer Friday, 12 o'clock shotgun start, only $320 per team. Again, sign up today at that website, miraclehillgolf.com.
Join us on July 22nd from 4 to 11 at the Ralston Granary event for one of the greatest team-ups of all time, beer and barbecue. Lagerfest 2023 brings more than 20 Omaha area breweries serving their most crushable craft lagers in partnership with the Ribstock Barbecue Festival. Omaha's premier barbecue event combined with delicious local brews. You can't beat it. Don't miss Ribstock and Lagerfest's family-friendly event July 22nd from 4 to 11 at the Ralston Granary Event Center. Visit ribstockbarbecue.com.
Paid for by Maxiderm Labs.
Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your performance in the bedroom? If you're a 5, take it to 10. If you're a 10, why not take it up to 15? With Maxiderm Power Surge. Maxiderm's new Power Surge Red Pill makes you more potent than you or your partner ever imagined. It's like going from a sedan to a supercharged high-performance sports car, and it works fast, just minutes. And now you can try it free. Just call 1-800-418-4697. If you thought being a 10 was great in the bedroom, just imagine what a 20 must be like. Experience off-the-scale virility with Maxiderm's new Red Pill Power Surge. You'll never want to go back to being just a 10. Call 1-800-418-4697 now to experience male enhancement supercharged. 1-800-418-4697 for your free trial and ask about our VIP club rewards. Hurry, this offer is limited. Call 1-800-418-4697.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm reading more on Chiefsaholic. Apparently, he robbed a First National Bank in Omaha. For $170,000.
Whoa,
that's a pretty big take. 163 of it was recovered immediately. Got away with 7,000. I don't know. Maybe he dropped the bag, something like that. And then tried to go to the local casino and wash that money.
Wow. Just like in Hell or High Water.
Just like in Hell. He literally stole the plot of Hell or High Water. Let's see. Who's in for the National League to pitch? Well, Phil Nevin's in at third.
Ooh.
Which is good.
You're going to like that. Ooh, Planet of the Apes comes out July 27th in theaters starring Mark Wahlberg.
Looks like Pujols is going to go play second now. So that's good.
Great spot for him.
We got Jeff Shaw on the mound for the National League here in the bottom of the eighth, trying to hold the AL down.
Wow. He's
going to face Maglio Ordonez to start.
Stop the bleeding.
Planet of the Apes comes out soon. I just want to read these quotes because I read the story from Sam, and the point was, he says, he wrote the column, "These days in Nebraska, even group of five foes aren't gimmies." Obviously, Nebraska had some experience losing to group of five foes, but he pointed out the individual quotes that were said after these games, and I gotta, all you can do with in the times of sadness is just chuckle sometimes. Here's what Sam writes. The de facto end of the Mike Riley era included a special guest wearing a red quarter zip pullover that darn near matched the color of his face. Quote, "I'm very, very optimistic about what we have. We need to stay together and continue to make progress, but you have to win games." And who said that? That was none other than Sean Eichhorst, Nebraska's then athletic director. Yeah. Quote, "That's what we're here to do, and we didn't get that done today." That was the day in September of 2017 where Tanner Lee threw 2 pick sixes, and then everybody, all the media was waiting because Nebraska had fallen to, I think, 1-2 on the season. And there's an elevator right there, and the elevator goes bing, and then the door opens up, and out walks Sean Eichhorst into the scrum of media, which included Lee Barfnick at the time. And Lee was the first person to ask the question, and the first question was, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" Standing right next to him, I wondered the same thing. "Hey, Sean, what's going on? What do you have to talk about?" And he just wanted to come downstairs and talk. He was fired 5 days later. And then Mike Riley was fired just a couple months later. Here's Scott Frost after losing to Georgia Southern. Quote, "Certainly didn't expect that tonight. I thought we'd perform a lot better than that."
Good quote.
Here's a good one. Nebraska didn't lose this game, of course, but here's Tom Osborne after leading 14-7 at halftime against Mid-Tennessee State in 1992. This is a gem. Quote, "I wasn't very proud of the way we played in the first half," Osborne said of a 14-7 halftime lead. "I guess I was proud of Middle Tennessee."
I like that. Stay positive.
Osborne afterwards says, quote, "Halftime was pretty scary. This could have been one of those deals that you never lived down." And it's true. You never live those games down. We'll always remember. And we remember the almost too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we remember when Nebraska lost to Georgia Southern and Northern Illinois and Troy and all of these. We also remember McNeese State.
Ball State.
We remember Ball State. Remember Louisiana Tech. These were almost. I don't remember the Middle Tennessee game in 1992, but I was like a couple months old at that point. Bill Callahan lost to Southern Miss. And Southern Miss's coach said, quote, "We probably should have won the football game 5 years before that when they lost." So Nebraska, and Sam goes through all these losses. The loss in 2004, the near loss to Ball State 2007, the Wyoming 2013 game. The Wyoming 2013 game. Remember that was mentioned on a crossover last week.
Yeah.
Why did Nebraska go to Wyoming? They are, or I guess they played them. That was the one in Lincoln. 37-34. Nebraska ended up winning that one. The McNeese State game in 2014. The BYU Hail Mary in 2015. The Arkansas State almost loss The Northern Illinois loss in 2017, the loss to Troy in 18. You notice how these become a little bit more common?
There's a lot of these
in recent years. And then there was, of course, Georgia Southern, which that was about the least emotion of which I've watched a Nebraska football game with of all time. It was during a wedding that I was at, but I was like, oh, they're scoring, the other team's scoring. This is horrible. I'm not enjoying this whatsoever. Didn't look like Nebraska actually had the strength of the talent to be able to win that night against Georgia Southern. And they were just doing the most simple things, executing the easiest things on the offensive side of the ball. And then Sam goes on to rank Nebraska's opponents from hardest to easiest this year. But, man, wouldn't this be really the time where we could mark it in history and say, no more of that crap. No more of that. Not even any more of, can we be comfortably up at halftime against Northern Illinois? Could you comfortably be up at halftime?
Remember North Dakota?
Yes. When Scott Frost came in at halftime and said to the BTN guy, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's bad. We can't do anything. And then they came out in the second half and remember, Scott Frost took the offense. They couldn't do anything on offense because Scott Frost was finally like, all right, Whipple, you go ahead and you take your damn offense. All right. I'll go bleep off. I'll go do something else. And they were up 14-7 or what was the score at halftime? Maybe it was 14-14 or something like that. Maybe they were down. And Scott Frost goes, yep, it's bad. Our offense bad, defense bad, can't do anything. And then he literally took the offense in the second half and they ran a whole bunch.
That game was 7-7 at halftime.
7-7. It's bad. Oh, yeah, Scott, it was bad. We have no more of those. You know? I understand it happens even to the best. 1992 Nebraska, they're only up 14-7 at halftime. It was like this is something that you never lived down. Nebraska's been to these depths as a program now in the really bad spots where it's like, oh my goodness, can it really get any worse? I want to stop asking myself that question. I would love to stop asking myself that question. Can we get to the point where Nebraska is able to comfortably beat the teams that they are supposed to beat? Or has the program wilted and devolved into such a point where, yeah, you sort of have to take everybody seriously? I think from the public perception standpoint, everybody sort of thinks a little bit closer to that regard now. Northern Illinois, we lost to them before. Louisiana Tech, we had a scare with them before. I know Colorado just flipped their entire roster. They got 400 new players on the roster, but what makes you so sure that Nebraska is going to beat them? I think that's probably the psyche of the Nebraska fan base right now. But if you start winning those games consistently and Nebraska's back to a place where they're winning, 7, 8, 9 games a year, I think that goes away pretty quick, right? And this would be a great moment in time to stop messing with those teams. Stop messing with them. And back in the day, like, for example, the 1992 game against Mid-Tennessee State, like you would say, oh, Nebraska was just messing around. Like they were playing with their food.
Yeah.
And then you compare and contrast that to 2022 against Georgia Southern, and you're like, oh no, they didn't deserve to win that game. Even if
real problems.
Even if they make the field goal that ties it and they go to overtime and they do win it, they do not deserve to win this game. They are not good enough. Playing with their food is not what they did today. They played okay. They just got beat by Georgia Southern. So, yeah, that's where we last seen them in a game like that. That's where we last have seen Nebraska in a game like that. Man, can that change overnight? Can that change overnight? Can you go from, boy, I'm not sure what this is, to you should be able to beat these teams?
I would assume there's no lines out for the Northern Illinois or Louisiana Tech game.
Even for that, I mean, I don't know. I suppose I could look it up pretty quick, but Nebraska was a double-digit favorite, at least in the Georgia Southern game last year.
Like what would you put that line at right now?
I don't know. Like,
sight unseen on both teams.
Wild guess.
I assume you're not watching Northern Illinois film in your spare time, Connor.
Wild guess is 21.
21? I was going to say 17.
17,
So okay, I feel
21, something like that. John emails in on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, John.
He says, isn't it surprising that Frost didn't say, I didn't expect that tonight. We had our best practice ever this week.
No, he had already dumped that line towards the end.
He did. He really, really got rid of that.
He knew people were tired of hearing it.
Tyler texts in the show.
Hi, Tyler.
402-951-1620.
But that's the phone number to call in, Connor.
You could call it too.
Oh my goodness.
Has Connor heard that we're going 12-0? I hadn't heard that yet. No.
Oh, this is confirmed?
That's according to Tyler.
Wow.
We're going 12-0?
Just 2 lines out for Nebraska right now, Minnesota and Colorado.
Yeah. By the way, I'm glad you brought that up because there's another Coach Prime thing that we can talk about in the 1 o'clock hour as well. But how many idiots do we have in this country who are betting Colorado to like win the national championship or win like more than 6 games or something? What do we do? What are they doing? What are they doing? And maybe you could make the same point. It's like, well, you're the idiot every year who bets Nebraska on the over. You think Nebraska's going to win the Big Ten West every year. But yeah, man. First of all, not me. I don't bet on Nebraska anymore. I don't do that anymore. They always disappoint. I don't need any more of that. But you got to be crazy to bet Colorado to win a national championship this year. You have to be insane.
You got to have seen something.
Any amount of money. Something. Even if it's just a ceremonial $1. What are you doing?
Throwing away $1.
You're throwing away $1. That's exactly
It's called taking a flyer, Connor.
No, it's not.
You wouldn't know anything about it.
I know nothing about that flyer. That is right. Josh has the top 5, which is coming up next. Josh, the winners of the weekend?
Yes, you know it.
That is next on 1620 The Zone. But first, we at 1620 The Zone have your final chance to win tickets to Chris Stapleton on July 19th. They'll bring the All-American Roadshow Tour to the CHI Health Center. You can get entered to win a pair of tickets to the show right now on our website, 1620thezone.com.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620, The Zone.
The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 Deadliest Days. It's a time when school's out, inexperienced drivers are spending more time on the road, and fatal car crashes increase dramatically. In 2020 alone, the 100 Deadliest Days accounted for 37% of all traffic fatalities in Nebraska. Don't let distractions blind you. Focus on the basics. Watch your speed. Eliminate distractions. Never drive impaired. And always buckle up. Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office and the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council.
Why?
If you have T-Mobile 5G home internet, you might be hearing this a lot.
Why?
Every time your internet slows down during the busiest hours.
Why?
Because your network gives priority to cell phone users.
Why?
Good question. Why not switch to Cox Internet with 2 times faster download speeds than T-Mobile 5G home internet during peak hours?
Okay.
Stop the whys and visit cox.com/5G home for details. T-Mobile prioritizes certain T-Mobile phone users over home internet users during times of congestion.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Hey folks, is your concrete in need of repair? Kent Pavelka here to talk about your local concrete experts and a Best of Omaha winner, Everlevel Concrete Repair. They can completely restore and repair your concrete at a fraction of the price compared to replacement and offer long-term transferable warranties. I'm so glad I chose Everlevel for my driveway. There's a reason they're a Best of Omaha winner. Give them a call for your free inspection. That's Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Sorry I'm late. I got here as fast as I could. What'd I miss?
What did you miss? You missed the stop sign at the corner.
You barely missed your little sister on her bike.
You see Mrs. Turner walking her dog? Luckily, he's on a leash or you wouldn't have missed him.
Don't miss the point of this message. Drive the speed limit and pay attention, or you might end up missing all of your friends, family, and freedom. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Delivery's at the door. Can someone please unlock?
It's been an eventful afternoon with a spike in bookings at Claudia's event space.
We'd love to host Mermaid Fest.
She was already planning on having more event planners on hand.
500? That's a lot of tails.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Minutes? How's that for minutes? We got another Daily Northwestern story. This time the headline is former NU, Northwestern, players describe racist environment in football program. Yeah.
How are they the only ones doing any reporting on this?
That you ask a lovely little question,
No,
Josh.
I understand whenever we want to talk to someone about Northwestern football, it's always very hard to find, but I think
That's correct. They don't have any media who cover Northwestern football, but they have all this media who covers national stuff.
Yeah, I figured someone in Chicago might there's a story over there. Why don't I just head on up there?
These are coming from former players. 3 former Northwestern football players told the Daily about what they called a toxic environment in the program, recalling multiple racist actions and remarks from both coaching staff and players. All 3 players who played for the team in the late 2000s also corroborated some of the hazing allegations reported by the Daily on Saturday, excuse me. So 3 of these. There was an anonymous player in this case. Quote, "Those are the 2 phrases you would hear a lot around the program that refer to sentiment of fall in line. If you were not in line with the Wildcat way, Coach Fitz or any of the coaches would be quick to say, like, yeah, check your scholarship." Fitzgerald's agent declined the Daily's request for comment. Surprising. A second anonymous player, a former offensive lineman who was black, told the Daily about a similar story about Fitzgerald asking a member of the coaching staff to cut off his dreadlocks. Quote, "The racist stuff, that's the stuff that refers to how black players are treated in my mind. That was a form of hazing," the first anonymous player said. And the second anonymous player agreed, adding that racism was central in the program's culture. There's a couple more things in there. Yeah. I don't know I don't know which direction this is going, but it's keep in mind,
not looking good.
Yeah, no, not looking good. So Pat Fitzgerald is, the guy in charge this entire time. Also, the majority of the time, you know who the AD was. That's Jim Phillips, who's the ACC commissioner at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
All that's going to come under fire within, I don't know, like starting right now, basically. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that situation. I wait for any sort of comment from, officially from Northwestern University. All right. Josh has the top 5.
I do. Yes. I forgot that's what we were doing in this segment.
We are.
I'm ready.
Why don't you fire away?
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
By the way, good news. The American League just won the 2001 All-Star game.
Wow.
Everybody shakes hands with Joe Torre. And look at those jerseys that they're all wearing. I think that was Darren Erstad right there. There goes Mike Sweeney.
Wow.
There goes Oakland A, Jason Giambi. There's Kirby Puckett.
I miss Kirby Puckett.
I miss Kirby Puckett too.
Poll question at Happer Show. Do you miss Kirby Puckett?
Good poll question, Josh. The answer should be 100% yes. We all should miss Kirby Puckett.
Number
There's
5.
John Olerud wearing his helmet.
He always does. Seattle's own.
Yep.
Big weekend for him. Number 5 is the Detroit Tigers.
Why'd they win?
They had a combined no-hitter this weekend.
I guess.
It doesn't count as a no-hitter, but I mean, they did win the game 2-0.
Well, they've started to like compare, like when I get the push notifications now, it's like they threw the however many combined no-hitter. I'm like, okay, I don't care about that.
No, that doesn't count.
It's not a category in and of itself.
They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first, did the Tigers, and then no one scored the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's baseball, baby. That's baseball.
And
they got Max Anderson.
Yeah, they got Max Anderson.
They won there too.
They're they're not having the best of seasons up there in Detroit, so a little something to celebrate in a less than stellar season.
Well, I'm glad you had the one thing, Detroit. I'm still waiting for the Royals one thing.
Oh, just wait.
Number 4.
Are the Royals going to make this list?
No, they're not. I'm sorry. I understand now that that's what it sounded like, but no.
Tigers aren't having that bad of a year. They're only 5.5 games out of first.
Well, there's no one over 500 in the AL Central as we were at the All-Star break.
That's correct. They were in first for a good chunk of June.
Mm-hmm. Number 4 for the second week in a row, the Atlanta Braves.
Oh.
Took 2 of 3 in the World Series preview against the Tampa Bay Rays this weekend.
Ugh.
Ronald Acuna Jr. was named highest selling jersey here at the All-Star break. That's a thing they do, apparently.
Does he get a plaque for that?
I don't know.
Okay.
They ended the All-Star break at 60 wins, the only team with 60 right now, which is good because they need to keep pace with the all of a sudden very hot Miami Marlins.
Did you hear about Luis Arraez?
I have. He's close to 400.
They took his little they took the little thing off the bottom of the screen on MLB Network finally.
Good. He must have had a bad weekend.
Well, because he was sitting, they were like, watch, they had a special thing on the bottom line on MLB Network the entire basically last 2 weeks, and it was like, watch the chase to Luis Arraez 400. And then they have his current batting average, and it got done to 389.
Oh, it was lower than that.
Was it?
I think I saw it one day at 384. And I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, he is now hitting 383.
Okay. He's too far away, and there's too much season left for this to be a real thing that we're watching.
I think so.
Unless you're a Marlins fan.
It's still really impressive. 383 is a very, very, very good batting average.
It's very good.
Yes. And I hope he gets all the hits. But I'm not going to pay attention quite yet to his chase to 400.
No.
3. Combination of 3 and 5.
Number 3.
Summit League.
Mike
Summit League. Mike Bovey taken 54th overall. Is that the right number?
Yes, that is.
The highest player drafted in Summit League history.
Indeed.
Baseball. Football players have gone higher than that, but we're talking baseball here.
Well, Evan Porter was on the morning show this morning. He gave some pretty good just insight on Bovey. Anytime that we've talked to Evan, he's like, "Oh yeah, this is the best guy," and not a surprise. He's been a great maverick. And my guess, he's pretty advanced, right? So I wonder how the power tool will develop, and as he goes on throughout the minor league system. But I imagine that that's a guy who could rise relatively quickly. He's just hitterish, much like Max Anderson is. I wonder. I don't know how much like upside there is, but look, you get to the big leagues, get to the big leagues. So no, I'm fired up for Mike Bovey and Max Anderson, and of course Bryce Matthews too. But so wait, so you left out the Huskers, but you brought in the Mav? Interesting.
They are still from a canceled baseball team.
Such a hater, Josh. Such a hater. No, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Go Brewers.
2 very high draft picks couldn't make the tournament.
Here comes 2.
Number 2.
Now, I did the research on this. He hasn't been in this top 5 the 2 previous iterations that we've done. I swear he's in this every week. Or maybe I just think about putting him in this every week.
Ronald Acuna.
No, he'd be number one in my heart all the time. Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh. Specifically for what he did in Milwaukee yesterday?
He stole second, third, and home.
It was awesome.
In the same at bat.
I mean, he stole third and home back to back.
Yeah.
It was amazing. He was just like, I'm going. This guy turns around, I'm gonna steal home. I'm gonna run. And he hadn't even, so he gets to third base, his helmet like slides off. There's no throw. He's putting his helmet back on, and as he's putting his helmet back on, he's like creeping down the line already.
and he's like 6'5" or 6'6" or whatever.
He does all this in a very calm nature. And he just slides into home. I love this guy. He's awesome.
Prior to Ellie De La Cruz this weekend, the last time an MLB player stole second, third, and home with the same batter at the plate was on July 14th, 1915, when the A's allowed White Sox pitcher Red Faber to steal his way home uninhibited as a stall tactic with the game not yet official and a storm brewing.
Oh my God.
That is courtesy of Optistats.
That is an incredible story.
It is reported that Rod Carew stole second, third, and home with Harmon Killebrew at the plate in 1969. But the footage shows that his steal of second came with Killebrew at the plate, and his steals of third and home came with someone else batting. 1915.
Yeah, I think this guy's good.
Yeah.
We're ready to say it, right?
Yeah, I would love to see him involved with the festivities in Seattle at some form or fashion this week. And I understand he's only been in the league a month.
This is another part of what I was talking about with the draft earlier. Like, we are way more interested in younger players now than we ever have been. Maybe it's because they're better or they're more advanced or they're flashier or something like that. I don't know what it is, but like, I mean, these really young guys, they have a way of jumping on the scene immediately and captivating people. Maybe it's because, I mean, Ellie De La Cruz is going to continue to develop as a baseball player. Like he'll become a more well-rounded baseball player as he grows through Major League Baseball. But right now he has one tool. He has one trait that is better than everybody else's already. It's speed. He's the fastest guy out there. He's faster than Bobby Witt Jr.
He's pretty swaggy too.
Yeah. Well, they don't count that as one of the tools, but maybe they should.
How about a sixth tool?
He's a sixth tool player.
Swaggy.
You know what the sixth tool is, right? Swag.
That leads us to the number one, the biggest winner of the weekend. We thought they were done winning, but they won again.
Make it so, number one.
Number 1.
Go Tigers. LSU baseball.
They did it again, huh?
First time in the history of the sport, the same team has the first and second pick in the MLB draft.
And it wasn't in the order we thought.
No. I personally would have taken the everyday player, though. I understand. Pitching prodigy, all that.
Yeah, I don't think you could really have gone wrong.
Yeah.
I suppose that I would have taken Cruz as well.
Whoa, what's going on out there?
That's a loud car.
Dodge Street.
That is not taking place in this office. I suppose I would have taken Cruz as well. I don't think you can really go wrong with it. Pitchers are just by nature, I suppose, a little bit more of a risky proposition. That guy doesn't seem like a risk at all.
No,
we said it when he was in Omaha. I said it when he was in Omaha. I mean, yes, he throws 100 miles an hour quite often. I don't think that's his best pitch. I actually think that may be his worst pitch. He's pretty advanced. Many people were immediately wondering right after he was selected number 1 overall, like, is there a chance that we see him at the end of this year? I talked to Farron about this at the World Series. I brought this up to him.
He's proceed. He's passionate
he
on
is
this.
Vehemently against it. He's like, no, no, don't be an idiot. I'm like, I'm just saying, people are talking about this. This guy looks like he could pitch in the major leagues. I'm talking about, I'm not talking about being in the Pirates rotation tomorrow. I'm talking about give him an inning, or something like that. And it's got to be the right situation. I don't know. I guess I sort of doubt it. But I don't think he would go out and embarrass himself for the Pittsburgh Pirates today.
After the first what is the first 30 days of next season? When does that ownership of the player mark go down?
Well, the service time.
Yeah, that's
I don't think it's next year. I mean, if you're going to let him do a year in the minor leagues at least, but
that's a smart thing to do. But these guys are coming up quicker and quicker.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, the LSU won again because Paul Skeens was the number 1 pick and Dylan Cruz was the number 2 pick, and Jay Johnson was on the MLB Network broadcast the entire time.
Yeah, there was an infomercial for LSU baseball.
Sure was.
TV
It was like, hey, let's keep track of how many LSU players got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here comes Ty Floyd. And then Morgan will get drafted today, and I think there's 1 or 2 more LSU guys that are probably going to go in the early portions of the part of today's draft as well. All right. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the top 5. We'll come back. Still a few more things to discuss that happened over the weekend, including Bob Huggins. We have the home run derby tonight. We have to say, what the hell is a blizzard?
Many are asking.
Many are asking what a blizzard is. As we continue on next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Saviv for Ted and Wally's, 2 locations, one in the Old Market, of course, the other in Benson. Ultra premium ice cream. You may ask yourself, what does that mean? Well, 20% butterfat. Been making it since 1984, and there's so many different flavors. And one of my favorite things about Ted and Wally's is they make an ice cream for you. They've got keto-friendly ice cream. They've got goat milk ice cream. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. It's Ted and Wally's, 2 wonderful locations, Old Market and Benson. And, of course, tell them Severe sent you.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Attention homeowners. Are you ready to unleash the power of savings? J-Tech Construction and Solar, the official exterior experts of the Huskers, has an exclusive offer. Purchase any 2 trades from our winning lineup of services: windows, doors, siding, roofs, gutters, and solar, and receive a 10% discount on your entire purchase. Click yourexteriorexperts.com to schedule your free consultation today. Double up on savings and save with J-Tech Construction and Solar, the official exterior experts of the Huskers. Click yourexteriorexperts.com.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, how about some interesting nature facts to get you outdoors? Did you know that Nebraska has more than 70 state parklands, more than 100 species of fish, more than 400 species of birds, and more than 1,500 species of native plants? We do. You need more numbers? Go online to the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. Question for you. Planning to be on the water this season? Great. But remember, wear your life jacket. Keep in mind that most people who drown in boating accidents are not wearing theirs. It's like I tell folks all the time, life jackets, they float, you don't on the water, so why wouldn't you be wearing yours? Please think about that and be safe. I'm Greg Wagner with the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/radio. That's forhims.com/radio for your free online visit. forhims.com/radio.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, a couple things from the YouTube stream. First of all, Yippee asks, have you considered doing a top 5 Big Ten scandals? Now,
I have not.
The problem is, you could go well beyond 5. There's various problems.
Mm-hmm.
You could go well beyond 5. You already know what number 1 is.
The only real question is, would the Ohio State tattoo scandal make the list?
I don't think so.
I don't think it
No,
would.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you go Penn State,
Mm-hmm.
you go Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
You could go,
and then there's a huge chasm.
Yeah, there's a pretty big gap there, I think. You could probably go, I mean, Iowa may, and this is just, stuff that's been like uncovered over the last like 15 years. You go Iowa, maybe Northwestern starts to crack in there. Yeah. I don't think it'd be very difficult. It wouldn't be a very fun list, though.
Yeah, I don't think people would like me doing that.
No, I wouldn't like you to do it, actually.
Okay. Well, then we will not.
Also, Max writes in, we were talking about Nebraska losing to crappy teams before. He says, interestingly enough, we weren't even that big of favorites in a couple of those. Nebraska was 10.5-point favorite for Northern Illinois in 2017 and Troy in 2018. That makes sense, I guess, for Troy because everybody knew they weren't going to have Adrian Martinez in that game.
Oh, yeah.
They were 23.5-point favorites against Georgia Southern last year. They were 23.5-point favorites for that game. And I thought they looked the same. I thought they were the same teams. And they were back and forth the entire game. It was like touchdown, response, touchdown, touchdown, response, touchdown.
Back and forth.
Ugh, that was bad. That does make things a lot more sad. Thank you for researching that, Max, because I would have forgot about it. Also, they're doing the All-Star Game press conferences right now. We have our starting pitchers, Zach Gallen, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is wearing a Canadian tuxedo. Garrett Cole is wearing a denim button-down that is baggy.
It's like a blank baseball jersey, but baggy.
It's like a blank denim baseball jersey. He looks like an idiot.
Well, let me get my Colin Cowherd on here. Denim, Seattle, grunge, a lot of denim.
I figured I'd wear my denim in honor of Seattle, of course. Another very weird situation. One more email here from John in the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, John.
This always has to come back to this guy, huh? With the amount of money Scott Frost stole from the University of Nebraska to make the top 5 Big Ten scandals list. No, actually, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
I don't think so. There's actually some more serious things in there. So we have the Pat Fitzgerald thing going on at Northwestern. We have the Northwestern thing going on in general, which of course we're keeping an eye on. Then we have this. Remember a couple weeks ago when Bob Huggins said that he was resigning?
Yeah.
In shame, really, after a DUI arrest.
Mm-hmm.
The former West Virginia men's basketball coach claims he never formally resigned last month. And Huggins said he will sue the university if he's not reinstated. In response, the university, which announced the hiring of longtime assistant Josh Eilert as interim coach last month, said it will not reinstate Huggins and it will defend itself against any spurious allegations.
Spurious?
I'm not sure I've seen that word before. Last month, Huggins announced his resignation through a statement that said, Quote, recent actions do not represent the values of the university or leadership expected in this role. After he'd been arrested in Pittsburgh for driving under the influence with a blood alcohol content of 0.21, which is high and nearly 3 times the legal limit. Then also there was the hot water from going on the radio in Cincinnati and saying things that he really shouldn't have said. According to documents released by the university Saturday, however, Huggins' legal team sent a letter to Gordon G., West Virginia's president, on Friday that stated Huggins never officially resigned. The letter also said Huggins entered rehab after his arrest last month and intends to return to his post as a head coach when he completes the program. In his letter, which was obtained by ESPN, an attorney representing Huggins said Huggins' resignation's correspondence with the school did not come from him, but it came from his wife, June Huggins. Campbell claims that Huggins never gave WVU a formal resignation. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What are we attempting to do here?
Can I ask maybe like the obvious question?
Sure.
Why
now?
Yeah, why not immediately as it's reported that you're out?
Yes.
Not go.
Well,
what?
Maybe he was in rehab. He didn't know that this was he didn't know that he had resigned.
If that's what was happening, that's a very short rehab stint. That was what, 2 weeks ago? It was during the College World Series. Did he?
I don't know what's going on with Bob Huggins.
Hey, congratulations! You made it through 2 weeks of this rehab stint. Your wife is here.
So the university responded, and they were like, "Here is the email that we got from you, coach." The university on Saturday released an email that was sent from an account belonging to June Huggins, Huggins' wife, to athletic director Ren Baker the day the head coach announced his resignation, and said, "Please accept this correspondence as my formal notice of resignation as the WVU head basketball coach and as notice of my retirement from West Virginia University, effective immediately."
So it happened the exact way he said it happened.
Yes.
This has been proven to be factual. Okay. Seems like maybe he had a change of heart. It's like, it's not legally binding. I can come back.
I mean, he's trying to get money out of it somehow.
He's George Costanzaing this.
Yeah.
I didn't quit. What do you mean I quit? I didn't quit. I'll be there on Monday.
The school has also said that it had ongoing conversations with Huggins' legal representatives in recent weeks that suggest the former coach understood that he had resigned, and he'd even been discussing the next steps of the resignation and retirement with Bob Fitzsimmons and James Rocky Ginola, 2 attorneys who have historically represented former West Virginia coaches, the West Virginia coach, Huggins, specifically, as recently as Friday. Quote, the conflicting communications and correspondence from various counsel on Mr. Huggins' behalf leave the university unclear as to its next steps. Continue working collaboratively with Mr. Fitzsimmons on common resignation retirement benefits for a former university employee as outlined in Huggins' contract, or respond to meritless demand letters and possible frivolous litigation brought forth by you, said Stephanie D. Taylor, the vice president and general counsel for the University of West Virginia.
At this point, who's going to say, yes, Mr. President, here's a check I'd love to donate to the University of West Virginia. Seems like a fine run organization. I'd like to contribute. Who at this point is going to say, yes, Mr. Huggins, please take my son and mold him into a fine young man?
I don't think he actually wants to be the coach again. That's the problem here. He doesn't actually, he's not going to coach again.
He wants the buyout or the settlement, or
I'm not sure what he's going for. Apparently he's going for some sort of money that he would recoup by
being fired.
By being fired
Sure.
instead of being retired.
Okay.
But he sent an email that said, I retired.
His wife
or his wife sent an email that said that his wife represents him. Hey, I'm retired. What was the thing that you thought was going to happen after Bob Huggins got a DUI a few short weeks after saying anti-gay slurs on the radio. He's going to go, I'm retiring, and retire with as much dignity as you possibly can, instead of saying, actually, no, I'm going to let them fire me. And they let him do so. He retired. He's like, actually, it would have been a better financial decision for me to not retire. Yeah. You got to fire me now. You're going to get fired for cause, buddy.
That is also a George Costanza tactic.
He's Costanzing the Sylph. Yes. Very weird. Very weird. Alex and Lincoln says on the text line, my wife sends those emails on my behalf all the time. Oh, I'm retiring?
I'm retiring.
Yeah, he's retiring. Don't worry. He's retiring. He's retiring from Golf League. Don't worry about that. He's retiring. I don't know what's going on with these coaches, man.
Very wild situation.
Just sit back and I'll watch Garrett Cole in his jean jacket at the All-Star game.
Is there an embroidered Looney Tune character on the back?
Yeah. Yes.
Give us a spin.
Yeah. Please.
See the back of that
I would
thing.
love to see what's going on in the back of Garrett Cole's jean jacket. All right. We'll come back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
Here's what you need to know. You can make fun of us all you want, but we have a certain mindset that of the 1.9 million people that live in this state and that support their respective schools, we love our sports here and we support our sports and we go to events. And it doesn't matter, again, if you're winning or losing, it seems, we will go and support it. That's what we do here. We like sports.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Hotter, breezy, and humid for your Monday afternoon. Sunshine early, but clouds increase late this afternoon and into this evening. High today of 91, but feeling like the mid-90s. Gusts possible out of the south-southwest up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. A chance of storms mainly after 6 to 7 p.m., a few of which may become severe with damaging winds and large hail possible. Expect clouds to clear after storms move out, mainly after 10 to 11 p.m., becoming partly cloudy to mostly clear. A low near 67. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Everyone, Josh Peterson here from my friends at Kugler Vision, one of the few places in the country where you will find all 7 FDA-approved forms of modern vision correction. They make new vision affordable with no interest payment options with approved credit at KuglerVision.com.
Dust. It's in the living room, the bedroom, and the bathroom. It's also in your lungs. Let's fix that, shall we? Duct Defense Midwest offers a comprehensive system that cleans, disinfects, filters, and purifies the air. They'll make your home healthier and improve the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com right now for a special air duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. cleanairradio.com. Ever walk through a door and see all the trucks? Yeah, it's kind of like that at Gretna Auto Outlet. Half-ton trucks, 3/4-ton trucks, dualies, gas or diesel. Gretna Auto Outlet will be happy to show it to you. They don't call it truck heaven for nothing, you know. Stop in the climate-controlled comfort of the indoor showroom or online with the virtual showroom at GretnaAuto.com. Gretna Auto Outlet, open Sundays too, just north of Nebraska Crossing on Highway 6 in Gretna.
Email unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Hey, Mike, I heard you had some paint samples on your house.
Yeah, but with all the kids' games, my 3rd grader might be in college by the time I finish.
I almost tackled that project, but decided to call Fremont Roofing Company to come out and install permanent siding so I never have to paint again.
That'd be a game changer.
They did a great job. Plus, they answer the phone every time you call.
Call Fremont Roofing Company at 402-727-9400. We'll transform your exterior while you cheer on the future athletes of Nebraska.
Tired of having a website that doesn't reflect the quality of your brand? At JM Online, we specialize in custom websites for unique business needs. Your website should be more than just a digital billboard. It should be a powerful tool that grows your business. Awarded Omaha's best web developers in 2023, we're dedicated to local business success. So if you're ready to take your website to the next level, go to jmonline.com and request a call.
Paid for by Maxiderm Labs.
Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your performance in the bedroom? If you're a 5, take it to 10. If you're a 10, why not take it up to 15 with Maxiderm Power Surge? Maxiderm's new Power Surge Red Pill makes you more potent than you or your partner ever imagined. It's like going from a sedan to a supercharged high-performance sports car, and it works fast, just minutes. And now you can try it free. Just call 1-800-418-4697. If you thought being a 10 was great in the bedroom, just imagine what a 20 must be like. Experience off-the-scale virility with Maxiderm's new Red Pill Power Surge. You'll never want to go back to being just a 10. Call 1-800-418-4697 now to experience male enhancement supercharged. 1-800-418-4697 for your free trial and ask about our VIP club rewards. Hurry, this offer is limited. Call 1-800-418-4697.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All right, so a couple things, both food related. Before we get to the poll questions and get out of here. Number one, did you see my take on cheese fries?
No. Oh.
So I'm at Shake Shack.
Okay.
In Kansas City. Shake Shack, by the way, best burger. That's the burger places that we talk about, the Burger Wars. They have the best one. There's a Shake Shack in Kansas City, and I went there yesterday morning or for lunch or whatever. And I'm sitting out there, and I have my burger, and I have my delicious French fries. They have great French fries, crinkle cut French fries, Josh.
Ooh.
It really is a perfect French fry in a boat. And I see another Swiftie come out, and I'm sitting out on the patio, and they have the cheese fries. So it's just the fries, but they've drizzled the cheese all over the top. Okay. And I thought to myself, why would I ruin these delicious fries with just melted cheese on the top? Cheese is great. Fries are great. But the combination of the two, especially when you drizzle the cheese on the fries, makes the product infinitely worse.
Yes.
It makes the fry worse. It makes the cheese worse. It makes the cheese fry a bad thing. If you want to do a cheese fry, that's fine. Just give it the cheese on the side. Can you do that?
The idea of cheese fries.
A genius idea. Amazing. A great idea. Yep. Loaded fries.
Yep.
It's an amazing idea. The execution of it, it's impossible to be good.
You got to get that fry so crispy so that it can stand up to the sogginess of the cheese.
No,
it's that the fry would become uneatable.
That was what I tweeted yesterday.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I said cheese fries sound a whole hell of a lot better than they actually are.
You'll get no argument from me on this point.
Okay. Point number 2, blizzards. What the hell is a blizzard?
I think you might need to update the audience on this one.
So there was a video of a person who talks like this. He was a president once.
Former leader of the free world.
Yeah, his name is Donald.
WWE Hall of Famer.
He was at a Dairy Queen.
He was?
In somewhere.
Iowa.
In Iowa. And
spoke there Friday, I believe. Maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. I don't remember.
And he was told that, by the people in the town, he said, you need to go to Dairy Queen and get a blizzard. So that's what he did. And he went up to the counter and he asked the people at the counter, he said, what the hell is a blizzard? And why do I need it? What is it?
Your impression of this man is unparalleled. I gotta say,
What is it? What is it? And I don't know if they explained it to him afterwards, but him asking, what the hell is a blizzard? Is one of the all-time great sound bites that I think we'll ever have.
There's so much commotion and so many ice cream machines running in the background that the audio is terrible.
So I know you have a take on this. I do too. There's no way that guy doesn't know what a blizzard is. He knows. He knows what a blizzard is. He's a fast food connoisseur.
He's a fast food connoisseur. Warren Buffett owns this. He's a billionaire. He's a financial connoisseur as well. I think he's doing the thing, and a lot of dads do this when they reach a certain age.
Oh,
where they just pretend to not know what anything is called because it sounds, I'm a grown man. I can't say blizzard. I can't order ice cream called a blizzard.
Josh, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
At a certain age, dads just stop learning the names
It sounds
of
too
things.
fancy for me.
Yep.
It's a blizzard.
Too foo-foo. Trust me. That's a guy who doesn't want anyone to think he's ever done anything foo-foo.
Dude, yes, you nailed it. Good call.
I think I got this one figured out.
Yeah, you pegged it. I've done that from time to time with like various social medias that come up.
Yep.
I know what's going on.
You knew what Threads was.
I knew what Threads was. Of course. I know what Be Real is. Because I say it like that, doesn't mean I don't know what it is. I know what it is.
Like, oh, it's a bit. Like,
I know who Saweetie is.
You don't know who Baby Rexa is, because if you knew who
Baby.
If you knew who Baby Rexa was, you would know that it's BB Rexa.
BB. I didn't know it was actually said that way. I know who she is, though.
I didn't correct you because I thought it was funnier that way. Like,
BB. I know it's spelled that way.
Yeah.
See, I know some things, but sometimes I got to play dumb.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. It's a bit. So that's what you're saying Donnie did.
I did. I do believe that is what happened at the Iowa Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I think you nailed him.
Based in concert with your reasoning led to my reasoning.
What the hell is a blizzard? So that was in Council Bluffs? I didn't even know that part.
Yeah, he spoke at Mid-America Center.
He should have went to Krispy Kreme.
Oh, yeah. Look at Josh on this.
I didn't even know he was in town. That's probably good.
I mean, yeah.
Nothing more to say about that?
We'll put it on the post show with my
is this
municipality takes.
Is this like the Stephen A. Smith podcast?
Yes, maybe.
They let him talk about all the things that he can't talk about on ESPN on this podcast.
Guys, he wants to get married.
Dude, yeah, he's a romantic.
He's 55, has 2 kids, but he talks about his longing for a wedding. How am I not listening to this show? This is amazing.
Yeah, he goes, people think that, I'm this, I like to live life in the fast lane. I'm this guy. I'm a womanizer. People think this about me. No. I want a wife. I want the kids. I want the white picket fence. I want the whole thing.
He talked about the danger of prenups after the Kevin Costner divorce, which is going to cost him $250,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
$250,000 a month.
It costs Kevin Costner a lot, it sounds like.
Maybe you go do some more Yellowstone episodes and take that money check.
Yeah. That guy knows what a blizzard is. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Poll question: does Kevin Costner know what a blizzard is?
Does Kevin Costner knows what a blizzard is? Yeah. He's been
to Omaha many a time.
Oh, he's been in the Midwest. Yeah. I'm sure somebody along the way has told him. By the way, the people at Council Bluffs were like, hey, you got to go to Dairy Queen and get a blizzard? That's really what they said?
Hey, I'm in Iowa for one night. Where do I got to go?
I mean, what? I don't know how you would answer that question for Council Bluffs without saying you better go to Omaha.
To my knowledge, there's not a Dairy Queen close to that arena. I could be wrong on that.
He had to drive a little bit. But really, I mean, you just walked around and they were like, hey, you better go to Dairy Queen and get a blizzard.
Oh, no, there's one on West Broadway. I'm sorry.
There you go. Show some respect, Josh.
Yeah. I'm really, for whatever reason, I cannot understand the geography of Council Bluffs. It confuses me.
Good graphic also, by the way, on the bottom on our...
It's him holding the blizzard. It's hilarious. He's not doing anything, but it's funny.
What the hell? All right, we'll come back. Poll questions, tell you what to watch as we return on a Monday on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
Get to Woodhouse Mazda and discover the first ever Mazda CX-90. It's designed with precision to elevate every moment together. Mazda's newest 3-row SUV seats up to 8 passengers and has class-leading EPA estimated 25 combined miles per gallon. Now available at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or Woodhouse Place Mazda off 144th and Giles Road. Shop during the Season of Discovery event. Woodhouse Mazda, a drive worth experiencing.
No matter how dark it gets, there's always a sunrise, a warm bed, a warm meal, and hope. Sienna Francis House serves hope to those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Every day, we provide more than 1,000 meals and serve nearly 500 guests in our emergency shelter, Miracles Recovery Program, and supportive housing apartments, and help our guests navigate a path to permanent housing. Learn more at siennafrancis.org.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Nick Handley here. You know, we are really lucky to have DJ's Dugout here in Omaha. For 30 years, DJ's has always been Omaha's own casual and comfortable iconic sports bar. There's no better place to watch sports and gather with family and friends. Huge media walls, great food and drinks, whatever the season, football, volleyball, basketball, watch the game at DJ's, and DJ's handles large groups too. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you can sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, tonight's the Home Run Derby. No more Chris Berman saying, back. That's good. But we now do a bracket style of a Home Run Derby.
I like this format. It's a good format.
And it skews a little young, which is good. Luis Robert versus Adley Rutschman. Pete Alonso versus Julio Rodriguez, the hometown kid. Mookie Betts versus Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Adolis Garcia against Randy Arozarena, and the one where everybody will take a bathroom break.
Spoiler alert, if I may, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 top seeds will lose their opening contest.
Hello! All right, so who are you taking?
I have Randy Arozarena winning it all.
Plus 850, Josh.
Did you see him during the World Baseball Classic? He's socking dingers and strutting.
Okay. All right. I believe I correctly picked our champion last year, who was, it wasn't Pete Alonso, was it? No, because it was some guy that we don't necessarily care about. I can't remember who won last year.
Juan Soto.
Juan Soto. We don't care about Juan Soto. Who cares about Juan Soto?
Do you remember Juan Soto?
Yeah. He's just toiling away in San Diego right now with all the other stars.
Pete Alonso won 2 years ago.
And then 3 years ago.
Well, 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah. 2020.
Yeah.
My pick for tonight, because I don't care. I don't have any reason why. Adley Rutschman.
Oh, would love that.
Adley Rutschman going off at plus 1,700 on the FanDuel
now.
Sportsbook right now. Hello.
Can I bet on whether or not Ken Griffey Jr. is going to take a few hacks tonight?
I don't know.
Because I would bet yes.
It'd be a good bet. Yeah.
I would bet yes.
Yeah. Adley Rutschman's taking down Luis Robert in the first round. He's
How's
going
he
all
the
the way.
one seed?
I don't know. It's all made up.
Okay.
There's none of it really makes much sense. Poll questions at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Thank you for participating today. Is Tropical Wave a Capri Sun flavor? Seems like yes. Actual answer, no.
Yeah.
But I'm going to vote yes.
I would vote yes as well.
81% are wrong, and they say yes.
Gotcha.
Do people forget about Sean Merriman?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. 81% also say yes to that question. Do you remember Mellow Trimble? Yes, I do.
I would vote no.
60% say no. Would you eat the Connor Happer meal? Yes, I would. I'm Connor Happer.
I would.
51% right now are saying yes.
Wow.
Does court 3 on the middle Sunday at Wimbledon warrant champagne?
No, not even close.
No. 61% only say no. And I guess we have 3 more. Do you miss Kirby Puckett?
Every day.
Yes. 70% only say that they miss Kirby Puckett. 30% say they do not miss Kirby Puckett.
R.I.P.
And I guess 2 more. Do you know what spurious means?
Not until I looked it up like 30 minutes ago.
Legal jargon. 82% say no. And finally, does Kevin Costner know what a blizzard is?
I got to think yes.
Yeah, I think so. He's been in enough Midwestern towns. 70% say indeed Kevin Costner knows blizzards. Hashtag Kevin Costner knows blizzards. By the way, another Husker has been drafted. Emmett Olson, picked by the Marlins in the 4th round.
Now I hate him.
110th overall. Josh immediately hates all the people who aren't Atlanta Braves.
Mm-hmm. You get drafted into the NL East, not by the Atlanta Braves, I hate you.
Marlins very good at developing pitchers, so I'm excited to see what happens for Emmett Olson.
And then trading them away.
Yes, as they do.
That's the Marlins way.
Josh, those are the poll questions. What are we watching tonight?
We are watching the Home Run Derby tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN and ESPN2. What's the difference in the telecasts? I don't know. I'm sure there is a difference. I don't know what that difference is.
Is there a StatCast broadcast?
Yeah, probably. 10 o'clock on FS1, we have Baseball's Greatest Moments with the Kid Mero, the MLB All-Star Game. Comedian the Kid Mero and his guests take us on a tour of the wildest moments in MLB All-Star Game history.
Cool. That sounds fun.
It does. Summer League still going on. This is the best week to tune into what to watch because there's a lot going on.
Yeah. No, Josh is going to get in his bag this week for sure.
Sixers Mavericks, 7 o'clock on ESPNU, followed by Timberwolves Jazz at 9:30.
This is the Summer League?
This is the Summer League in Las Vegas. Take a look at that sphere a few more times. Maybe they'll turn it into a basketball again. 9 o'clock on TNT, Rich and Shameless, Season 2 premieres. This is a series where every episode is a different documentary. This week it is called Rodman's Stolen Millions. Dennis Rodman was the bad boy of the NBA. His ferocious talent, controversial style, and wild partying made him a superstar, but also left him vulnerable. This is the unbelievable true story of how the closest to Rodman betrayed him. His daughter is on the Women's World Cup team.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Thank you.
And finally, prepare for tomorrow's release of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 by binging the previous 6 installments on Paramount Plus.
No, thank you, Josh.
Okay. Well, many are doing it.
Thank you
don't
for
have
the
to do
offer.
it all in one night.
I appreciate the offer. Thank you.
It's there for you if you want it.
But I'll pass.
Okay.
That is what we're watching tonight, and that is the show. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Crossovers next.